Powered by Billings Clinic and Logan Health. SWX Frontier Conference College Football starts right now.
From Herb Clint Field on the campus of Rocky Mountain College, this is college football on SWX. This afternoon, the Battlin Bears of Rocky Mountain College welcome in the Blue Hawks from Dickinson State. Hi again, everyone. I'm Chris Byers, along with the former Battlin Bear Tyson Byers. And Tyson, for Dickinson State, a homecoming of sorts. Their head coach Pete Stanton from Baker has two brothers right here in town and a roster dominated by Montana kids.
They recruit a lot of kids out of eastern Montana, all these small schools. And tradition for the Blue Hawks, you can really tell these kids stand out and they really play hard for the Blue Hawks. Yeah,
and for the Battlin Bears, a brutal schedule to begin the season. 4 games against 4 nationally ranked teams.
And they were all within the top 25. They would come in close at the end of the game, but just not good enough. But now the schedule is going to seem to be a little bit easier coming to the back half.
Quarterbacks in and out for Dickinson State, but it looks like Marcus Sanders is healthy and ready to go. He's going to be a big key today.
He's going to be a huge key. They did cycle through a couple of quarterbacks while he was injured, but last week he threw over 350 yards and 4 touchdowns against Dakota State.
And for the Battlin Bears, Trent Novak, 100% healthy and ready to go. And this is the trigger man in the Rocky offense. He has been injured as well, but he's 100% ready to go today.
Novak has had a very hard time staying healthy the last 2 years. He had a major leg injury, and then against Montana Tech, it was hard for him to stay upright the whole time. And so, yeah, he had some rib issues, but he is coming back, and he is healthy.
All right, so it's the Battlin Bears, the Blue Hawks from Dickinson State. Kickoff is next on SWX. Back and doing keys to the game.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think you're good. There you go. You're good.
Okay.
I'm glad at least they're playing back in black.
Yeah. I do not have a rundown up here of the And welcome back to a beautiful fall afternoon here in Billings at Herb Clint Field on the campus of Rocky Mountain College. Moments away from the start of this afternoon's game between Rocky and Dickinson State. And Tyson, let's take a look now at the keys to the game, starting with Dickinson State.
With Dickinson State, first and foremost, they got to have a short memory. The Hawks lost their last 2 games by a total of 4 points with an overtime loss to that of Mayville State on October 4th. Second, they got to start fast. Against Mayville State, they started out with 3 3-and-out drives, and against Dakota State went down 17-7 that in the first half. And then third, embrace the Hawk tradition. In the last 10 years with Pete Stanton, he's had the Hawks in the NAIA playoffs 10 out of those 11 years.
And then for Rocky Mountain College, to get that second win in conference, what do they need to do?
Well, with Rocky Mountain College, first and foremost, they need to have balance on the offense. The Bears are a pass-first offense, but they need to be able to establish the run game today. Second, protect the den. Just because Dickinson comes in with an overall 2-4 record, the Bears cannot overlook them. They're still a tough team, and they cannot lose at home. And then third, it's in it to win. Rocky controls their own destiny. They will have opportunities to control the outcome of the Eastern Division.
Well, it's amazing when you think about it, Tyson, that Rocky started 0-4, but with the new format in the Frontier Conference, everybody started again at 0-0. You're going to play 6 conference games in the East, and same for the West. And so the Battlin Bears opened with their first conference win last week, so they stand 1-0 in conference play. And if they run the table, guess what? They're the Eastern Division champions, and they get in the playoffs.
It is hard to believe that you could be 0-4 coming into the division, and then you get into the division and you're playing division teams. You win your first one, you're 1-0, you're the top of the rankings. But then if they could come out of this game and next week's game, the most important would probably be that Montana Tech game coming up in 3 weeks.
Well, it is, and so it's all out there in front of Rocky Mountain College, and that's what you're selling the team as the head coach of the program. Say, hey, we're very much in this, and let's continue to play hard. Now, they've got today's game against Dickinson State. I know they don't like to look ahead, but then MSU Northern, and then, as you said, that huge matchup with Montana Tech. It'll be the one team they do play twice on the schedule. They lost to Montana Tech in the non-conference early in the season in Butte, and they were very much in that game until Trent Novak went out with an injury. Tech went on to win, but I think they feel pretty good about where they are right now, with a chance to stick around and stay in the race for the Eastern Division title.
And again, like we mentioned in the keys of the game, as being 1-0 in the division, you control your destiny and what's going to happen in the outcome, maybe the possible postseason play.
All right, so the Blue Hawks get the ball to start this game on their opening drive. Dickinson State, a team that started the season ranked 11th in the preseason among the top 25, but it has been a tough slug since then. A lot of injuries early in the season, as Marcus Sanders will open at quarterback for the Blue Hawks. Sanders got time, looks long, has got a man out there, and that's caught right at midfield inside Rocky territory, and a first down as Adrian Calderon makes a beautiful catch and takes it down to the 42-yard line. So just like that, a bang-bang play for Dickinson State to start this game.
And that's a great start for this Hawk offense. Like I said, they got to start fast and get the ball in the end zone just so that they can at least establish a tempo for this game.
So important. Now, flag come in and flies. The Rocky signals it is against Dickinson State. Look like Samaj Clark may have jumped out there at his wide receiver spot.
His file folder blew off and it's down there, right there. Is there any way that we can get that? Yeah.
So that'll back Dickinson State up 5 and make it 1st and 15 from the 47, just underway first quarter.
See, right here is where they have a 12 personnel. They got 2 backs, 1 went in motion, and you got a tight end.
Here's Sanders now. Got time, fires underneath, and a short gainer caught on the play by Gage Gilbert, their tight end. The 250-pound sophomore takes it down to the 45-yard line.
Gilbert is an outstanding athlete, and when you're looking at scheme play for the offense, that is a young gentleman that you got to get the ball to.
So 2nd and 12 from the 49. Gilbert goes in motion. Sanders operates out of the gun. Opening series. He looks, now fires it out there. Got single coverage intended for Clark. He is their leading receiver, but incomplete pass will bring up 3rd down. And that is just good defensive work out there in the corner as Trey Smith was out there on the island.
And Trey Smith is a dynamic corner, and he could play anybody one-on-one in the conference. That time he closed the gap and he was pushing the wide receiver out towards the sideline. Quarterback had nowhere to throw but out the sideline there.
So 3rd and 12 now from the 44. And Sanders, low snap, picks it up, fires out there, and it's caught at the 42 but shoved out of bounds. Very short gain as Melnicki makes the catch, but that'll set up 4th down, and the Blue Hawks are forced to punt. So a good stand. A good stand by Rocky after they gave up the big play on 1st down, that big gainer into Rocky territory. Bears defense stiffens, and it's 4th down.
Throughout the season, the defense has really set the tone for the team this year. They are very tough, they're stingent, and they do not give up a lot of yards on the ground.
So fair catch is called for and made at the 10-yard line. And the Battlin Bears will get the ball for the first time deep in their own end at the 10-yard line with 13 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. So Dickinson, Tyson, came out firing, got the long pass play, got into Rocky territory, but then the penalty, 5 yards, and forcing a 3 and out, and here come the Bears and Trent Novak.
Now, Novak, again, is a huge key for this offense, and having him back after being injured after that Montana Tech game is huge. He walks around with confidence, and all the players on that offense really respect this young guy. Ooh. And that was a little bit risky of a throw. That was a good break by the defensive back and being able to knock the ball away. Good closeout and kind of an errant throw by Novak on that.
Novak, 41-69 on the season, 59% completion rates, thrown for over 600 yards with 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And again, Tyson, you mentioned the injuries to Trent. Not only that serious leg injury, which sidelined him for an entire season, but then he got banged up in the Tech game.
And it was hard to watch. I mean, every time I took a look around and somebody from Tech had him on the ground, and took him a little while to get back up. But he is a very young, very tough young man when it comes to this game.
Brock Ping on the carry. Brings up a 3rd and 10. Brock Ping's been a bright spot for Rocky on offense. The Billings Central alum who's playing right here in his backyard, 51 carries for 247 yards, averages nearly 5 yards every time he touches the football.
He's a great back. I was able to teach him at Billings Central. Very hard worker, especially when it came to the weight room.
And there's a beautiful pass play from Novak to Darius Haskin. And Haskin, Tyson, by far their best receiver, 30 catches, averages 20 yards per catch. He has 7 touchdowns, and that play covered 17 yards and a 1st down for the Battlin Bears. All right, so Rocky able to move the chains here, pick up that initial 1st down. Novak fires out here in the flat. That is complete at the 35-yard line to Eric Lira, and shoved out of bounds by Dominic Carter out of Compton, California. So Rocky with a 2nd down now at the 36. We mentioned the emergence of the Battlin Bears running game, Tyson, with Brock Ping and Tough Adams. First 3 or 4 games, pretty much pass-heavy offense, but with that running attack, it opens up a little more play action, chance to throw that ball and be more successful through the air.
And that's one thing that I thought Rocky really needed to work on, was to establish a run game. You have a nice 1-2 punch with Ping and Adams, and that does it. Opens up your passing game.
Little jet sweep here, and Lira takes it up over the 40 to the 42-yard line, and that should be enough for a 1st down. So the Bears start this drive at their own 10. And up now to the 42, and a fresh set of downs. Just under 11 minutes to play here in the opening quarter.
And if Rocky can control the clock here and being able to run the ball, just slowly moving the ball down the field, getting a couple 1st downs, and not having to rely on that passing game the whole time, it'll be a very successful drive.
Oh, and this ball jarred loose. Dickinson says they have it, and they do. So Haskin was walloped. And yeah, Dickinson State falls on it, makes the catch, but popped out of there.
You know what? On this, I don't really think that the wide receiver had completion of the ball.
All right, so timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. 10:36 to play, opening quarter. No score here in Billings. From the 40-yard line, Sanders fires out there, and the ball is dropped. Ball is dropped, brings up fourth down. That was intended for Jackson Wicker, and just out of his outreach, and it'll set up fourth down, and the Blue Hawks kick it away.
Well, Rocky was bringing a blitz from their middle linebacker, Cade Reynolds, coming up the middle, putting some pressure on Sanders, where Sanders actually couldn't get his full throwing motion going, and so held the ball a little high.
So the Blue Hawks forced to kick it away. And this is a short kick that is going to come down at the 20-yard line. Smith will let it go. What a break for Dickinson State inside the 5 to the 2-yard line. So Nelson with a nice job, and Trey Smith let it go, and it lands inside the 5. So Rocky gets the ball for the second time when we come back with 9:07 to play here in the first quarter. Still no score at Herb Clint Field. And we'll stay here and check out Rocky Mountain College on their second look on offense. And again, Tyson starting deep in their own end.
Well, when we take a look at this position by the Blue Hawks, if I was Rocky right now, you're going to have to try to run the ball, get out of the 5-yard, give yourself a little bit of cushion. If I was Dickinson, I'm bringing the house. Try to at least get a safety here, and hopefully, we can get a good punt out of here.
All right, so Battlin Bears, we talked about, still very much in it. One of two teams that are still yet to lose in the Eastern Division standings, 1-0 after opening divisional play with a victory last week. Montana Tech leads at 2-0, and Blue Hawks coming off a tough loss last week to Dakota State, 27-25. But in that game, Sanders 31 of 50, 351 yards and 4 touchdowns. So Sanders was the starter going in. Sat out a little bit, getting nicked up, but is back and healthy. And the Blue Hawks, Tyson, are always expected to have a good season. They start the season ranked 11th in the preseason poll, right, and then they come out and have those 4 straight losses.
Well, they did come out. They won their first 2 games and then 4 straight losses. And this is not a typical Blue Hawk team. All right, they are normally staying in the top 25. At this time of year, they're probably 4-2, 5-1. But this is not a typical. I believe they're young. A lot of injuries has put them behind the ball a couple times. And so now, for them, it's just being able to get through healthy for the rest of the season.
Wow, huge play there by Novak to Darius Haskin. And that's a gain all the way out over the 25-yard line, or close to the 25. That'll bring up first down.
And that was just a good play. You had just a post that went over the middle. There was a little bit of man with the free over the top and was able to split. And it was a great toss pass and a good catch for the first down.
Harris, the redshirt freshman from Buckeye, Arizona. They are so glad to have him on this team. Novak's got time. Now checks down underneath to his running back and picks up 6 on the play. So gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
The Blue Hawk defense was in a cover 4, which means that they had quarters across the field, and the linebackers got good depth, so there was nothing further down the field that Novak could throw to anybody, and so Ping came out from the backfield, settled in front of the linebackers, and was able to get a good completion there for 7 yards.
All right, so 2nd and 3. And they go to the tight end. That's complete out there to Tyson Hunt, redshirt freshman from Tualatin, Oregon. Nice job by Novak again, just sitting back there, Tyson, in the pocket. He's got plenty of time to throw the football, finding his receivers, and moving the ball through the air. 7:50 to play now here in the opening quarter. Rocky from the 34-yard line.
The observation that I'm seeing is, the offensive line for Rocky is really settled down. They're giving Novak a lot of time in the pocket, but I'm not seeing a lot of pressure coming from the Blue Hawks yet.
So first down gain from the 34. Novak looks left, fires right, comes back the other way, and goes right back to his end again is Tyson Hunt. Back-to-back catches. Gain is up to close to the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 39. So gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Novak had a good no look. He looked to his left, got the whole defense kind of flowing that way, and then you had Tyson Hunt there just on a nice little out route. Looked to his left, back to the right, nice little dump pass. Good play, and it's a good look off by Novak.
It was, and he's done a nice job so far in this game. This time they stay on the ground at Adams. Adams is wrapped up and taken right down. I'd rather check that Brock Ping. And brought down by Riley Waters, the senior from Sidney, Montana. Another one of those Montana kids, Tyson, that's playing in a Blue Hawk uniform.
Yeah, 6'4", 270-pound sophomore. So he's definitely going to have a nice career here for the Blue Hawks. He is one of the most outstanding players on this Blue Hawk defense.
So remains 3rd and 5 now from the 39-yard line. Novak facing another 3rd down. A quick slant, and that is caught by Ping at midfield, and that should be enough. And it is 1st down. Check that. That was to Tyler Abbott, who makes the catch.
I really like what Rocky is doing right now. Everything is short. They're mixing up the run and the pass, which we were trying to talk about earlier, trying to establish one or the other. But I think they're really doing well, going 50-50 with their play calling.
They bring Eric Lira across. We'll play action now for Novak, and he's going to be met and taken down, wrapped up. Good defensive play there by Wyatt Anderson, the senior from Joliet. A lot of homecoming for some of these Dickinson State kids.
And I like what Dylan Dahlgreen did, number 40 there. He's the D end, and he established the outside, didn't let Novak get to the outside, forced him back into the center of that defensive front, and it collapsed down really fast, and Novak had nowhere to go.
2nd and 14 now. Novak comes across the middle, and he's got a man wide open at the 45 down to the 40-yard line. Tyson Hunt again. And that for Hunt is his 3rd catch of the afternoon.
There we go. We got Riley Waters on the takedown, but I really like how they're using Tyson Hunt in the scheme of things as of right now. And sounds like we may be calling his name a lot.
Just under 5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. 3rd and 4. No back slant pattern to Haskin, first down. This time Haskin wraps it up and makes the catch. Kobe Smith, or rather Carson Baker, comes in from the linebacker spot to make the tackle, but a first down.
Well, that was a great grab by Haskin. In traffic, getting both his hands on the ball. There was a very tight window for him to catch that, but with strong hands, catching the ball, tucking it, and getting that first down.
Yeah, they bring Haskin across. First down gain. In plus territory now from the 33. This time, Bears will stay on the ground. Oh, just a great job defensively, and I believe that was Anderson again. Anderson gets in the backfield, blows that play up, and a loss of 1.
Yeah, Wyatt Anderson. Dickinson actually had 6 guys up on the line of scrimmage, brought all 6, collapsed down all gaps. There was no room for the running back to go.
So loss of 3 brings up 2nd and 13. Well, the Bears have had a lot of third down plays in this drive, but they've converted every one so far. This will be 2nd and long. No back, pressure coming off the edge, and now throws up underneath that, makes a nice read, and Brock Ping gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe one more, so let's call it 3rd and 9 from the 31.
Well, the Blue Hawks brought some pressure off the edge with the linebacker that left Brock to be open in the flat, and so then you had Nathaniel, number 39, Nathaniel Wylick, have to come up from the middle linebacker spot to get the tackle.
Okay, so 3rd and 9 for the Bears. Pressure comes up the middle. Novak reads it, fires out there, incomplete. Looked like the intended receiver kind of slipped and fell. That was Tyler Abbott. This will bring up 4th down. Decision time now, Tyson, for the Bears. You're at the 32, so this would be, well, almost a 50-yard field goal. Let's see what they decide. Yeah, they're going to keep the offense on the field.
Well, there you go. You go to the analytics again. Anymore, most teams go on a 4th down, especially when you're in your opponent's territory and 4th and long.
Pressure up the middle. No back. Looks. Now throws across. Incomplete. And the Blue Hawks with a nice job defensively. Good pressure up the middle as Dylan Dahlgren applied the pressure, and the Blue Hawks will take over on down. So with 2:30 to play here in the first quarter, no score. Blue Hawks with the football when we come back. Back here at Herb Clint Field, Dickinson State with the football in a scoreless game. 3:30 to play in this opening quarter. Battlin Bears trying to stay alive in the Eastern Division. Open against Valley City State College with a win. Had a bye week last week. First down for the Blue Hawks. Pitch and catch. Nice job there. Hauled in by number 21, Jackson Simonson, the junior from Great Falls, Montana. Pretty much, Tyson, every kid we've called for Dickinson State has been a Montana kid so far.
And that's nothing that has ever changed. They get all these great athletes from these small rural towns of eastern Montana that we probably never even heard of. And they get to Dickinson, and this coaching staff turns these kids into great players.
Pass incomplete there, intended for Cale Gundlach. And Gundlach, another youngster out of Great Falls, played for the Bison at Great Falls High, so incomplete pass.
A little unusual to be hearing a player's name from western Montana.
Yeah. Well, Sanders, as we said, was the starter when the season began and put up big numbers last week. On the year, he's thrown for 979 yards, completes 60% of his passes.
It just proves on how important your quarterback position really is.
So Sanders has time, now throws out. Here's got a man wide open, and that's a first down and then some as Samaj Clark with the catch, and that'll be in Rocky territory. They'll mark it at the 40-yard line. Samaj Clark, 37 catches on the season with 6 touchdowns. And Tyson averages 78 yards per game receiving the football, so he is their go-to guy.
And boy, he got wide open. And he got behind that of Sean Tuddy, and Tuddy kind of lost him in his coverage, and he got snuck behind him for an easy completion.
They'll stay on the ground and give it to Simonson. Not much there. This is a team that averages just 93 yards a game on the ground. Much like Rocky, slow to get the running game going and relying on that passing game.
I've watched Rocky several times this year. I did go on and take a look at some of the highlights with Dickinson and their pass games. Both these offenses really start out slow. I mean, kind of monotonous, trying to figure things out. But then as soon as the second half comes around, they're putting up several points.
Sanders looks underneath, and that is bobbled and knocked out of there. Pass was a little bit behind Gilbert. Gilbert trying to make a catch. He's a big target, but unable to bring it in, and that'll set up third down.
And again, that's a kid that you would want to get the ball to a lot more than what I've really got to see here in this first quarter.
Cade Reynolds with a nice job of separating Gilbert from the football. And this will bring up 3rd and 9. Winding down to the end of quarter number 1. Blue Hawks in Rocky territory, but so far have been unable to cash in. Let's see what they come with here. Sanders out of the gun. Rocky shows pressure right up the middle. Sanders looks, now fires, got a man inside the 25, and that is caught for a first down, and that's complete to Adrian Calderon with the catch.
And Calderon just took a 12-yard route. It was a 12-yard out route. And I call it a flood route, where you have 3 wide receivers on one side of the ball. You had a short route, a medium route, and a go route. And it really spread out that Rocky defense. And with that out route by Calderon, got wide open for that first down.
Okay, so then the Blue Hawks will let the first half clock expire, and that's the end of the first quarter. We're in a scoreless game here at Herb Klint Field on the campus of Rocky Mountain College. But Dickinson State threatening. They have a first down at the Rocky 25 when we come back.
Quinnell.
We are back at Herb Clint Field, and while we were away, an interception thrown by Dickinson State, picked off by Landon Quinnell in the end zone, and Rocky Mountain College back to work on offense with a first down from the 13-yard line.
Dickinson tried to get Rocky off balance. It was a toss pass. So Sanders tossed it to the running back. Running back went out. Was not a very pretty pass. It was short. And then that's when Landon Quinnell was able to pick it off in the end zone and run it out to approximately the 11-yard line.
First down for Rocky. They stay on the ground, and here we go. All kinds of turf in front of them, and a huge gainer into Dickinson State territory goes Brock Ping. Or Tough Adams, rather, with the carry, and once he got into the secondary, he was gone.
That has got to be the best run play that Rocky has put up this year, especially yardage-wise. And all that was a simple inside zone run to the right, got through the tackle and the guard on the right-hand side, and no one was there to fill for the Hawks, and he got 50 yards.
And Novak is hammered at the 40-yard line. Flag comes in. And a sack on the play, but let's sort it all out. Taken down by Riley Waters.
And again, Riley Waters is a kid that we're going to be watching and saying a lot, but it was interesting. Novak got up and was given the whole flag sign, and the ref threw the flag out there. So I imagine it's probably going to be a personal foul, probably, or maybe even a face mask.
While we're waiting for this to get sorted out, how about
officials are talking it over.
This will be interesting because if they're waiting this long, they could even possibly pick the flag up.
Let's pick up the call.
Play is a fumble recovered by Dickinson State. While the ball was moved, personal foul, targeted, number 42. That play is under further review.
Okay, so the ruling on the field was fumble and recovery by Dickinson State, but then they're going to review potential targeting on Riley Waters, who fell on the ball.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is that they saw, especially after the play. This will be interesting to see what the review
There it is
happens.
again.
Yeah, we get to see it. With that play, he hit him with the face mask. From my perception, hit him with the face mask, not the crown of the helmet. And so this looks like I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that they're going to reverse that as a non-target call.
Well, if it stands, it'll be Dickinson State ball from the Rocky 42-yard line. But yeah, I agree with you. To me, it didn't look like he was leading with the crown of the helmet, which would be the personal foul.
Right. Yeah.
Let's take a look one more time.
He came in and a little late on the replay there, but the initial hit, it looks like he was squared up. It was face mask right there on the chest plate of Novak, which is a clean hit, but if I saw him actually drop his helmet down, hitting with the crown of the helmet, that would constitute that as a targeting call. The thing that I really hate about a lot of that, though, too, is that young man could be ejected from the game.
That's right. He'd be forced to sit out.
And I really don't like having to eject players from the game. And I'm a defensive player myself, and always growing up playing defense, and things happen so fast that it's hard to adjust the way that your trajectory towards a tackle. You can't change it while you're moving, and things do move awfully quick, so it's tough to adjust the way that you're going to tackle somebody. But with replay, you get to see it frame by frame, and it changes the whole perspective on what you see with that play.
It's such this program is such a long and storied program at Dickinson State, and when you go back and look at the all the way back to the 1970s with Hank Bijou, he's in the Hall of Fame as a head coach of the Blue Hawks, 38 years coaching Dickinson State, and then replaced by Coach Stanton down there. He's been there 11 years. So if you take those two coaches alone, Tyson, that's 50 years of Dickinson State football with only two coaches. You've actually played for both of these programs, for Dickinson and for Rocky, and got a chance to play under Coach Bijou,
Yeah.
and what a Hall of Famer he is. Let's get the call.
The ruling on the field of targeting is overturned. After review, the ruling of a fumble recovered by Dickinson State University is upheld.
All right, so Dickinson State, the targeting is overturned, and on the play, of course, results in the turnover. Taking a look at the coaches there, Coach Stanton and Coach Stutzream for Rocky Mountain College, but it's really pretty amazing when you think about, how a program at the NAI level can have 50 years with just two coaches. And, of course, Coach Stanton, now in his 11th season, has done such a terrific job as well.
Well, it says a lot about the program and the school and just the stability of the program, and that's why the Blue Hawks have such an outstanding tradition in this program.
Ty Dassinger on the carry. Picks up 4 on the play, so 2nd and 6 from the 36.
I'm really glad that they overturned that targeting call. It means Waters gets to stay in the game, and just being able to look at that replay says a lot about the way that things work technically with the play of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Dassinger stays on the ground, fights, gets the big push inside the 30, still on his feet. We got the rugby scrum going on, and it should be a first down.
The refs probably could have blew the whistle a little bit sooner, but yeah, we got a little rugby scrum going on there at the around the 30-yard line. Well, this is going to say a lot about the defense and where we're at. You see, again, Dickinson was down in this area when they did that toss pass for the interception. Hopefully they've learned a little bit something from that call and just stay traditional with what works best for them.
Well, Dickinson State has lived in Rocky territory so far in this first half, but yet to come away with any points. Sanders now on first down. They'll stay on the ground. Dassinger again, 3rd straight carries. Dassinger is the freshman from Dickinson, from his hometown, played at Trinity High School, and now in a Blue Hawks uniform. What I always thought was fun about Coach Bijou, and I know this when you were there, Tyson, is no spring football.
It very unusual for colleges not to have spring football.
Just show up 2 weeks before the season and let's go play.
He just had that confidence that his players were going to do what they needed to get done through the offseason and be ready to go in season, and it's unheard of not to have spring ball.
Dassinger again to the 24-yard line. So 4 straight carries. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Maybe it has something to do with the weather over there. When you say spring, it's not really the spring.
No.
And the one thing that got me to go there is that they kept saying this is the banana belt of North Dakota. It's the warmest part of North Dakota. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it. It was a freezer box over there. There was no such thing as the banana belt. Talk about lying. Whatever you have to do, I guess, to get your recruits there.
Here's a 3rd down throw out into the flat, caught at the 20, and then a nice run after the catch to get the first down. Gage Gilbert, the big 6'6" tight end out of Camp Crook, South Dakota, gets the first down, and they'll move the change. Sort of like the trout stream they try to sell flowing through the campus of Montana State Billings.
Yeah, right.
Better known as the ditch.
The ditch, right. This is our standout marker in the state. You come here and check out the banana belt. It's tropical. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's 50 below zero at times there in the great Dickinson State area. I remember a friend shut his door and his glass just broke in the parking lot.
Here's Sanders. Fires it out there in the flat. And that is caught, but not much there as they get it to Jackson Wicker. But a nice play defensively by Jonathan Goins. And Goins makes a nice open field tackle. Well, Tyson, we're not going to put you on the Dickinson Chamber of Commerce, so no worries there. But
I don't plan on going out that way anytime soon.
Well, and just to put an end to the Hank Bijou story, never go to one of the classes he taught if it was opening day of hunting season because he wasn't going to be there.
He walked into the classroom and then left, didn't say a word. We all sat there for 10 minutes wondering what happened. Next day we found out he was late for a hunting trip.
So Jackson Simonson gets the call. And the Blue Hawks right now, Tyson, on this drive, really trying to force their will on the Rocky defense running the football.
And that was something that I was looking at and was kind of wondering the last time they were down here in the red zone. Stay true with what you got. But right now it kind of leaves them with this 3rd and long, which you're actually going to have to be forced to throw the ball unless nothing's open. I wouldn't be too concerned having Sanders actually run it.
Gundlach, they bring him across and now look for him, and they throw into the middle of the zone. And that was just a great pass and catch. And that was caught in there by Clark. And Clark did a really nice job there, Tyson. He just went into the Rocky zone, got in front of the safeties, deep of the linebackers, found that open, and just sat down and makes the catch.
And a lot of times your offensive coordinators, wide receiver coaches are telling you, run your route. If you get into the middle of your route and you have linebackers that are flaring out, you drop in a hole, you stay in that hole, get big so that your quarterback can see you and throw you the ball.
1st and goal for the Blue Hawks. Busted up inside, stretching for the end zone is Simonson, and he is in for the first score of the afternoon. Nice job by that offensive line for Dickinson State. Jackson Simonson in from 3 yards out, and the Blue Hawks strike first.
And moving the ball down the field, it wasn't any big explosive plays, just a very monotonous, just run the ball, staying true with what they do, okay, running within the tackles, trying to maintain your will at the line of contact there, pushing the ball forward. And this is the true Hawk offense that I'm familiarized with.
Nelson on for the extra point, ball down, kick on the way, and good. So with 8:52 to play here in the first half, the Blue Hawks from Dickinson State strike first on the 3-yard touchdown run, and they lead over the Battlin Bears of Rocky Mountain College.
Afterwards, after the ball game, just one more as you cover.
Well, if the wind would settle down, this would be a beautiful day up here.
Yeah. Coverage of today's Frontier football matchup is made possible in part by Torgerson's Equipment, serving the Montana community for 5 generations. Torgerson's Equipment in Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho. And yes, we are high atop Herb Clint Field here in Billings. Got a beautiful vista, don't we, Tyson? Got the rim rocks out here to the right. It doesn't matter where you are in the Frontier Conference in Montana. Everywhere you go, you get such beautiful backdrops. You know, the mountains, the rims here in Billings.
Well, in the valley here of Billings, when you're up on top of those rims, and in this time of year, all the leaves are changing, and you get this beautiful view of all different colors. It's great.
This will be brought out by Haskin at the 15. Got some room, spins away at the 30. Haskin on his feet to the 40. Still on his feet to midfield. Haskins to the 45. Haskin down to the 40-yard line of Dickinson State. A 60-yard return. And Rocky Mountain College in great shape here as they start this drive. But hold on, we've got a flag back at the 31. Darius Haskin was the Frontier Conference Special Teams. Oh, way to pick up the call. Boy, that's going to negate a great return by Darius Haskin. I was going to say that a couple of weeks ago he was the Frontier Conference Special Teams Player of the Week and also earned the NAI National Player of the Week award, 182 all-purpose return yards, and you see how dynamic he can be with that speed. And unfortunately, the penalty will back Rocky up to the 20-yard line, and that's where they'll have the football to go to work.
Yeah, it negates that whole run for Haskins, and I tell you, he's a kid that could be a major team leader, especially on special teams. But yeah, those accolades for him are huge.
As we said, just a freshman. Novak's pass is complete to the 23-yard line. Very short gain out there to Jacoby Thaler, redshirt freshman from Arlington, Washington, and that's the same town that Trent Novak is from.
I'm not surprised that we're at a 7-0 score right now. Both teams do come out pretty slow. But let's see how Rocky's going to answer on this series, coming back and hopefully getting some points up also.
Novak's got time, now flushed out of the pocket, and then just throws this one away. So good coverage back there by the Blue Hawks defense. Dickinson State gives up 221 yards through the air defensively. But so far today, Tyson, they've done a nice job keeping the Battlin Bears off the scoreboard.
And they have. The defense has really stepped up. Again, Rocky is very slow coming out in the first half. That last play, you had Shell Osborne, the linebacker, coming off from his zone, putting pressure on Novak to having him throw that ball away.
Third down, Novak. It's got Eric Lira at the 35. Lira with a nice run, picks up 11 more yards after the catch, and a first down for Rocky Mountain College.
That's a very simple play for him. All he had to do is gets out there to 12 yards. It's a hook. He just finds a bubble in the secondary of the Blue Hawks in their zone, settles down. Novak was able to find him for a great pitch and catch. Lots of yards. Very simple route.
First down from the 45. Under 8 to play here in the first half. Novak. This time they will stay on the ground. And Tough Adams with the carry. Picks up 3 on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 7.
The front 7 of the Hawks is playing really well. Your down linemen are playing well. They're getting good pressure at the line of scrimmage. Linebackers are flying all over. They're sending blitzes every once in a while. The weak part of the Blue Hawks defense is their secondary.
Gain of 3, so 2nd down and 7. Blue Hawks showing pressure off the edge. Here they come. Novak reads it, fires out there to Lira, and Lira with a great move at the 40-yard line down to the 25 and a first down for Rocky Mountain College. A great run after the catch by Eric Lira.
Lira was able to give a little inside move. We had over pursuit by the corner at the time. Couldn't get the tackle. Lira was able to get another 10, 12 yards after the initial contact, and putting Rocky offense in good position here.
Lira 21 catches on the season coming into this game with a couple of touchdowns. Gain is down to the 25 and a first down. Here's Novak. Fires across the middle, got a man at the 15, and that should be enough for a first down. So Tyler Abbott brings down another catch.
And that was a very tight throw by Novak. We had the receiver getting into the middle of that defense in between 3 linebackers and a safety, and he was able to throw that on a dime in the middle of that zone for a first down.
First down. Novak flips it out here, and this is going to be A catch, stretching for the end zone. And can't tell from where we are, and yeah, they got a touchdown. So Eric Lira, who's done such a great job running after the catch, just took the little swing pass out into the flat, finds his way into the end zone, and Rocky is on the board.
On that drive itself was a lot of Lira just getting pitch and catch from Novak all the way down the field, and so that whole series and that touchdown was all on Lira's shoulders.
Yeah, nice answer for Rocky after the Dickinson State touchdown. Drake on for the extra point. And the kick is up and through. So with 5:21 to play in the first half, Battlin Bears score for the first time this afternoon. We are tied at 7 here in Billings. This Montana Sports Series presentation of Frontier Conference Football is made possible in part by the Billings Clinic. Billings Clinic, trust and be trusted. Strive for excellence, serving Montana, Wyoming, and the Dakotas. Welcome back to Herb Clint Field here in Billings for this Frontier Conference matchup this afternoon on a gorgeous fall afternoon. Lots of sunshine, temperature in the mid-50s, and Tyson, just a great answer. Dickinson State went down, scored, took the lead, and the Battlin Bears cap off an 80-yard drive for an answer as they get it to Eric Lira from Trent Novak to tie this thing up at 7.
And I'm not really surprised about having this 7-7 right now. As we mentioned, both teams are a little slow starting off, but they're able to answer, and that's the thing. Both offenses are taking control of the ball. They're executing very well on their plays. We're not getting those big, outstanding plays, explosive plays. Everything's methodical. They're working the ball down the field. They're getting first downs. They're running the clock. I think it's really good play calling by both sides, by the coordinators. Defensively, still need to execute a little bit, get a little bit more pressure. And probably it's going to get to this point, I think, whoever gets the most turnovers or get more third down and outs is going to win this game.
And here's a catch out of the backfield and a huge run in Rocky territory. Nice play by Jackson Simonson, who snuck out of the backfield. Sanders finds him, and the gain is all the way down inside Rocky territory to the 41-yard line, and a first down.
Yep, and now we see it's just a little swing pass outside. Most of the time your coaches want you to catch it the first time, not the second time, and he was able just to get up the sideline for some good yardage off of that play.
So first down, Blue Hawks. Right back in Rocky territory after one play from scrimmage. Bears show pressure up the middle. Not much there this time as Simonson taken down by Dakota Sage, redshirt junior from Gooding, Idaho.
You had Daniel Dominguez coming from his linebacker spot, lowered his shoulder, on a blitz right between the A gap, right between the center and the guard, and he shut down that gap to where the running back had nowhere to go but to try to bounce it out.
2nd and 6. Sanders got a man at the 30-yard line, and that is caught by Calderon, taken down by Dylan Dinas.
Interesting play. It looked like it was a post wheel with the wheel coming out from the backfield. The post, it was a little bit quicker of a throw. I didn't think the receiver was quite ready to get it that fast. Interesting play, but
first down
good
game.
catch.
1st and 10 now from the 31. Dassinger met right at the line of scrimmage, and he is going nowhere. Good job again by the Battlin Bears up front. Cade Reynolds in on the stop for Rocky, with help from John Aragon Reynolds, the redshirt senior. Transfer from South Dakota State. Makes a nice play there, 2nd and 10.
One big thing that I liked, especially with that interior D-line for Rocky, Jordan Latson Davis, D-tackle, really closed those gaps up, having 2 people double team him, which opened up for his teammates to get the tackle.
Empty backfield pressure put on Sanders. He gets it out there. That is complete. Gage Gilbert in on the catch, picks up 5. And Tuddy with a nice open field tackle. Timeout taken by the Battlin Bears. That's their first timeout of the half. They've got 2 remaining, and it comes with 2:40 to go here in the second quarter. It's going to be 3rd and 4 for the Blue Hawks. So Rocky, with a stop here, can get the ball back. We'll step aside. Again, 2:40 to play in the half, tied at 7 here in Billings. All right, so the Blue Hawks with a 3rd and 4 from the Rocky 25. 2:40 to play in the first half. Blue Hawks have a couple of timeouts and the 2-minute warning remaining, so still plenty of time to put points on the board before halftime.
Now this kind of really resembles that of the other touchdown drive. They run, maybe a pass here and there, but this is big for the Blue Hawks.
Dassinger with the carry, met at the line of scrimmage, taken down, and no gain on the play. What a great job by Dakota Sage. And Sage is going to bring up 4th down, and Rocky now will use its 2nd timeout of the half on 4th and 3. So Bears hoping to get the football back here with still timeouts remaining. See if they can't break the 7-7 tie.
There was a blocking mishap right there. Sage actually was coming in on a slant, and no one touched him. Got right into the gap, right where the running back was supposed to run, had nowhere else to go. So there was a little bit of a blocking scheme issue for the Blue Hawks offensive line.
You know, we were talking about the coaches at Dickinson State with Hank Bijou and now Coach Stanton, and already now is in his 12th season. But as you mentioned earlier, Tyson, in his first 11 years, they didn't make the playoffs the first year, but then 10 consecutive years coming into this season, they made the NAIA playoffs. They reached the quarterfinals back in 2018. But not only has he been the football coach for the past 11 years, he's also the athletic director, and he's the track and field coach. So
he's got a lot on his plate.
I would say a little bit, yep.
But that says a lot about him. He's able to juggle a lot of things but still be very successful at what he does.
No question. All right, here we go. 4th down. Sanders fires and incomplete. Incomplete. Cannell was back there in coverage. That was intended for Jackson Wicker. So Rocky takes advantage of using those timeouts, and now they've got the football with 2:29 from the 24-yard line. I think they feel, Tyson, that they're really starting to move the football. Mm-hmm. And I think they feel like they can go down and put some points on the board before the half. Let's see what they come with here with Trent Novak. He's gone all the way at quarterback.
It was good use of those timeouts. And not only that, but you're coming up on the 2-minute timeout here also.
Novak looks left, fires out here in the flat, incomplete.
Ooh, that was just a little misfire by Novak, throwing a little bit too wide and out of bounds, not giving your receiver any chance at the ball.
Tyler Abbott was the intended receiver, but yeah, that throw just got away from him. You don't see a lot of that. The kid's accurate, and he's put up good numbers when he's been healthy.
He's also a very good golfer.
Yes, he is.
I have the pleasure of working with him during the summertime and at a golf course, and he golfs, and if the football career didn't come out, he could be a golfer.
And he gets a complete pass here up over the 30 to the 35-yard line. Chance Goltz. Flag on the play.
Definitely something that you don't want to do when you're trying to get the ball down the field. This can actually stall out a drive.
Penalties are such drive killers. And that was a nice play. It was a first down catch by Chance Goltz, young man out of Bridger. So now 2nd down as the Bears are back inside the 15-yard line. Got to be careful here with 2:14 to play in the first half. Here comes pressure off the corner. Abbott with the catch to the 20 and out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So they get a big chunk of that back.
You had Nathaniel Weilich that came off as a outside linebacker blitz. Novak recognized it and was able to get the ball out of his hands awfully quick.
All right, that takes us to the 2-minute mark here in Billings. We are tied at 7. Rocky with the football in a 3rd and 9 when we come back. And our keys to the game today brought to you by Butte Auto. Easy to find off I-90 at the Harrison Avenue exit in Butte. Find your next ride at Butte Auto. Rocky Mountain College with the football at the 25, facing third down. Tied up at 7. Had a nice visit with Johnny McCluskey before the game. He, of course, you and Johnny played together at Dickinson. He was a senior guy. You were at Skyview, and his son now playing linebacker, getting a start today for the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, our relationship really didn't start off very well when we were crosstown rivals. And then we get to Dickinson, and we're like, you're
friends.
from Billings, and you're from Billings. Oh, hey, this is great. And then, yeah, everything kind of flourished from there.
Nice job reading that blitz. They get it out to Brock Ping, who spins forward to the 30-yard line, but that's going to be well short of the first down. We'll see what the Bears have to be forced to punt here. And now Dickinson State will use a timeout. And they're thinking, hey, we're going to get the ball back with some time, a minute 53, and a couple of timeouts. So time for Dickinson State to use their timeouts. And that's a case, Tyson, where really Rocky using their timeouts instead of running clock may wind up to hurt them as the Blue Hawks get the ball back here.
Originally, I thought the timeout and being able to control the tempo of the game and what you're going to do, using your timeouts, getting the ball, but it doesn't help if you could not convert that first down. That could be huge. It can be hurtful. Given the Blue Hawks the ball with a minute 53 left, and now with Stanton being able to use the timeouts wisely too, this is going to give Blue Hawks probably some really good field position.
Yeah, they should come away with great field position. Cale Gundlach back to receive. He's standing at his 30-yard line. Jordan Legg lets this one go. Wow, big, booming, beautiful kick. That goes back inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Jordan Legg, second in the NAIA in punting, averaging 42 yards a punt. Really nailed that one.
And the nice thing about it is that he got some height on it. There is a little breeze going on, but it was able to get the cover team down the field to where he actually couldn't do anything on the catch. So that was a great punt by the punter, and it's going to help out that Rocky defense.
So the Blue Hawks, see what they do as they jump into their 2-minute offense. 1:47 to play here from inside the 25-yard line, first down. Gundlach comes across. Sanders. They go out that way for Gundlach, who makes the catch at the 35, and should be a first down.
That was a great route by Gundlach. He was able to push hard. He got the defensive back on his heels, had a great cut to the outside. The ball was thrown on a dime. Great play by those individuals for Dickinson.
Jackson Wicker checks in for the Blue Hawks in the backfield. First down, Sanders. Quick fire out there, and that was the play in the last series for Dickinson State to Jackson Simonson that led to that big play as they just swing him out of the backfield, but that time incomplete pass.
Yeah, Simonson just does a swing out, but then you had your wide receiver that's towards the near field, and that is Adrian Cauldron, and he just did a quick slant, just trying to pull the defense into the center of the field, leaving the outside of the field towards the sideline open for Simonson to catch the ball, but the throw was a little off.
Second down for Sanders, and this one is almost picked off by Trey Smith. He stepped right in front of it, and if he makes that catch, that is 6 points the other way.
And that was man free. They had man underneath, free over the top, and Trey Smith did an excellent job playing man coverage. He stayed on the inside hip of the wide receiver, got the hand up, being able to cut underneath the receiver to get his hands on there. For him, unlucky enough not to be able to catch the ball.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 10. Sanders, now they'll stay on the ground, and that is a takedown behind the line of scrimmage. And that play got blown up quickly. And 4th down now. Good job by the Rocky defense to force a 3 and out. And so now the Bears turn to burn a timeout as they'll get it back again.
In So you're going to get the ball back, and you have one timeout. Looks like one timeout, 2 timeouts left. And with the way that this wind is kind of swirling up here from where we're at, this could potentially give Rocky a very good field position with the minute 27 left to get down and possibly get a field goal before halftime.
All right, so the ball's at the 30-yard line. The Bears have used their 3 timeouts, so they'll be working without any timeouts left here. And Nelson will be standing at his 15-yard line to kick it away. Trey Smith back at his 35. Big pressure. Nelson gets it away, and Smith will let this one hit at the 30, and it's going to bounce all the way down inside the 15, inside the 10-yard line. That is a huge punt, and that may force Rocky to rethink what they're going to do here.
Well, in the problem that Trey Smith had is with this part of the day, he was looking into the sun. So he couldn't see the ball. It's just better for him to let the ball hit the ground, let it do what it may. But as for Rocky, with the minute 13, you may just want to try to just run the clock out, run the ball a couple of times. If they get aggressive, you're at risk of turning the ball over deep, well within your own territory.
Yeah, I think the field position is going to dictate what the Bears are going to do here. We'll see if they keep the ball on the ground. And that's exactly what they do. A little bit of running room. Good hard running by Brock Ping to the 20-yard line. That's going to be a first down. But again, no timeouts remaining for Rocky, but does give them a little better field position out of the shadow of their end zone. Novak gets him to the line quickly. Novak fires across the middle, and that is caught at the 25. And the Blue Hawks will give him that all day long. That's just a quick 5-yard gain to Darius Haskin, but that will keep the clock running as we're inside 45 seconds in quarter number 2.
That was a good catch by Haskin because he had
good coverage.
Chase, Selly all over his back, number 9.
They go right back to Haskin, and that's going to be pass interference on Selly at the 40-yard line. So contact before.
There was a little bit of hand fighting going on, but you could tell right away that Selly got his hand on his face mask and gave him a good shot to the head.
So the Bears start this drive at the 9-yard line. So
it's awesome with defensive backs because whenever we get a pass interference call, we look like we didn't do anything wrong. What are you talking about? We didn't see it. You can see it right here. Yeah, I mean, he was all over him. A lot of hands going on and hitting him in the face mask. But Selly, we don't do nothing wrong.
This is for Haskin, and they try to go back shoulder to him at the 30-yard line. Incomplete pass. Second down.
Yeah, so they're setting up the same situation, Haskin against Selly. This time, just kind of lost the ball on the back shoulder pass, and I think Selly was a little anxious too because he already got called once for pass interference, and that does kind of stick in your mind. You got to have a short memory when you're a defensive back.
Second down from the 41, Novak. Goes across the middle to Haskin, who's got room at the 40. Haskin to the 20, to the 15, 10-5, touchdown, Rocky Mountain College. Wow, Darius Haskin with the catch and score. And just like that, the Battlin Bears have the lead.
There is so much going on in that play. It was a great catch, good concentration by Haskin. Selly is not happy because he did fall down and he got up going, hey, Haskin's pushing me, and knocked him down and was able to get open and catch the ball and go the distance for the touchdown.
He shows you why Rocky Mountain College is so high on this young man. Extra point is up and through. What a change of events here in this game with just a few seconds left here in the first half as Darius Haskin takes the catch from Trent Novak. And from 58 yards out, a catch and score. But it was right after the catch Tyson, when he made the catch, put that one move on Selly, and once he did that, he was gone.
Yeah. Selly fell down. He was complaining that it was offensive pass interference. Yeah, and as a defensive back, you're never going to win that battle. And, Haskin was able to catch the ball wide open. He had a linebacker on him, which is not going to catch Haskin if you're running a 40-yard dash, and got in for the touchdown. So there was a lot of things that was happening on that single play, but it did come out as a positive for the Rocky Mountain Battlin Bears.
Haskin with 7 touchdowns on the year coming into this game, gets number 8 here, and gives Rocky the 14-7 lead with 18 seconds to play here in the first half. So 14 unanswered for Rocky in this game after trailing 7-0.
And the kick went out of bounds here, so there's going to be an automatic flag.
Just 18 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Boy, the last 2 minutes of this game.
Exciting.
And and we had multiple possessions. We had Rocky using their timeouts to stop Dickinson. They get the ball back. Then Dickinson used their timeouts. And finally, on the last possession, Rocky started the drive at the 9-yard line, picked up a couple of first downs, and then Trent Novak found an opportunity, and he went to his number 1 receiver, Darius Haskin. And one thing that the Rocky receivers have done today, Tyson, which has really been outstanding, is what they've done after catching the ball. Lyra and Haskin specifically.
Right.
Yeah, and they're going to go right back up top, and they do, to the 45-yard line. Catch to Jackson Simonson.
And I coach wide receivers here at Rocky back in 2002, and the biggest philosophy that I had at that point in time was catch the ball. That's your first and foremost priority. Catch the ball. What you do after is just a bonus, and for what Rocky receivers are doing today, there's a lot of bonuses given out.
A lot of athleticism for those wideouts for Rocky. Down to 11 seconds. Dickinson will use a timeout here as they have it at the 45-yard line.
And this is good field position. I mean, 11 seconds left, possibly 2 plays if you're throwing with an incomplete, getting out of bounds on a play. So potentially with 11 seconds left, you have possibly 2 plays coming out of 11 seconds.
Dickinson State with 1 timeout remaining. So, yeah, you're right. Maybe a chance for a couple of plays here from the 45.
Well, you get 2 plays in, possible timeout to set up a field goal.
Here's Sanders. Comes across the middle, and this one is picked off by Rocky Mountain College. And a nice job there defensively, and I believe picking up a number here. A.Q. Peternell, the guy that steps in and makes the interception. We have to tell you, and we're a long way from the field, that the Bears are wearing their Witness Protection Program uniforms on, because you cannot read the numbers on the backs of these jerseys.
It's kind of hard when you have that really dark forest green with a black background, and you just can't see anything.
You can't.
But I love these uniforms, honestly. When you're a player, you got to love these. It kind of gives me the throwback of the 90s.
Well, a great first half, end of the first half for Rocky Mountain College. After trailing 7-0, Bears come back with 14 unanswered. And at the break, we played 2 quarters of football. Rocky over Dickinson State by a score of 14-7. Halftime is straight ahead. You're watching college football on SWX. And welcome back to Herb Clint Field on the campus of Rocky Mountain College. Here in Billings, where the home team, the Battlin Bears of Rocky, are leading by a score of 14-7 over the Blue Hawks of Dickinson State. Rocky opening the Eastern Division with the win a couple of weeks ago against Valley City State College. So they are starting league play at 1-0 and looking to make it 2 straight. And as we talked about in the opening, the Battlin Bears control their own destiny despite losing the first 4 games of the season. Once conference play begins in the East, everybody starts at 0-0, and for Rocky, they control their own fate. If they run the table through conference, they would be the Eastern Division champions. They've got Montana Tech on the schedule in 2 weeks, a team that beat them in the non-conference portion of the season earlier, and that would be the biggest game of the season to date. But first things first is the Bears need to knock off Dickinson State this afternoon and MSU Northern before that all happens. And here at Rocky Mountain College, football, of course, takes center stage for most of these Frontier Conference schools early and are the focus of much of the attention, but there are other fall sports as well going on. One of those, the men's cross-country program here at Rocky, where the Bears are currently ranked among the top 15 in the country. They will host the Frontier Conference Cross Country Championships in just a couple of weeks at Amen Park here in Billings. They are the top seed right now in the Frontier, and we had a chance to speak with head coach Mike McLean, the coach of the Battlin Bears, about what's happened so far for his Rocky Mountain College men's cross country team. With Rocky Mountain College head cross country coach Mike McLean. And coach, I'll tell you, your men's program has been good all fall, but latest rankings come out. You're a top 15 program in the country. You got to be so pleased with what's happened this fall.
I am, and we're looking forward to taking that ranking to Grand Rapids, Michigan for the Great Lakes Challenge. There'll be about 45 just NAIA teams there. So we will know pretty quickly if the rankings is what it should be, or if it's, we're getting overranked or underranked and stuff and that.
You have the Frontier Conference Cross Country Meet Championship is right here in Billings at Amen Park. I asked you before we started this interview, is that a big advantage? You said we'll find out. But honestly, I mean, how do you approach something like that where you're in your own backyard?
We'll go down to Amen Park, I'm going to say 2 or 3 more times, and we've been down there a few times, just to get the kids' feet on the ground and knowing where and there's no hills, there's a little berm you got to run over. But knowing the footing, knowing the course, knowing where to make your moves, we'll do some hard interval workouts down there. So it's a big advantage. Like I said, you can wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and get to the race at 10:30 for the girls and 11:30 for the guys.
Cross country is not like a 100-yard football field. Every single one is different. Right. You said that you think a fast course might favor your guys. Right. Why do you say that?
Most of them are good track runners. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we have any super strength guys that love the big hills, and hills are going to slow you down no matter where you go. If you go to Helena, you're going to run 40, 45 seconds slower if you run that Bill Roberts golf course. Mm-hmm. Kids freak out like, oh, I did terrible. I'm like, oh, no, you didn't. You did fine. I don't expect personal best times there. We have an elevation of 3,100 feet here in town. Yeah. So for most teams, like I said, the teams coming from the east side, the Nebraskas, South Dakota, North Dakota teams are going to find out if they can handle the elevation. It's a small elevation rise for them. It's not like, Dickinson's only, 2,400 feet or something like that. And we were down to Jamestown and, mm-hmm. meeting some NAIA schools down there and stuff. So the advantage is that we're home, that you can sleep in your own bed. You don't have to get on a bus to travel. You should be more well-rested for our home meet. It's fun to have it at home.
Your guys will be the team to beat. You'll be the top-seeded team. Now, I know no coach likes to look beyond what's next, and I know the Frontier Championships are hugely important. Right. But then around the corner is that NAIA National Championship and qualifying there. Does that enter into your mind at all right now?
It's if you're not ranked, you're not going to get to the national meet and stuff unless you win the conference meet. Last year our team was second at the conference meet by 1 point. That's pretty close in cross country. And this year I don't want to be close to anybody. And if somebody beats us, we better be running pretty fast. And if they beat us, that's fine. And hopefully the rankings will take us there too. But yeah, you do think ahead to nationals. But there's 2, like I said, the Michigan meet, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and our home meet, the conference meet, are 2 big meets before that we get there.
Well, congratulations so far and good luck moving forward.
Thank you very much.
And there is Rocky cross country coach Mike McLean. You know, we say coaches wear, many hats. Well, he's got another hat he's wearing today. He is our red hat for this afternoon's game. So thanks to Coach McLean for double duty and helping us bring you this college football game this afternoon. 14-7 is our score. Dickinson State trails the Battlin Bears of Rocky. More on SWX Halftime when we come back. And we hope you can join us for This Week in the Frontier Conference, a half-hour show hosted by myself and Bobby Beers, Thursdays at 6:30, and then also we'll air the show the half hour prior to the kickoff of our games on Saturday as we take a look at games across the Frontier Conference, highlights, interviews with coaches, rankings, standings. We do it all. Again, that's This Week in the Frontier Conference, Thursdays at 6:30 on SWX. And we are here at halftime of a really good, close college football game. Chris Byers along with Tyson Byers. And Tyson, in the first half, Dickinson, after both teams got out to a slow start, Blue Hawks put a nice drive together and went up by a touchdown, 7-0. But then the Bears came back with 14 unanswered. And once the Blue Hawks scored, Rocky seemed to, get the wake-up call, start to open up the offensive playbook a little bit. And I thought their defense played very good the remainder of that first half.
Both defenses are playing really well. Once both offenses settle down and stay true to their schemes and what they do best, there in the second quarter, they were able to get some points up on the board. But starting out, yes, very slow, methodical, but they started to put things together and start to get drives going that actually took up a lot of time.
Yeah, it was the big plays for Rocky that really, you talked about Dickinson's defense, not bad, but again, giving up those just couple of big plays, and that's what's led to the 2 touchdowns, the 1 strike early to Eric Lira, and then late in the second quarter to Darius Haskin. And, Haskin is one of those guys that, he's just a kid that you know is going to be special. He's just a freshman, and every week down the road that he plays and gets more experience, the more dynamic he becomes, and he's such a threat, whether it's special teams, running kicks back, or at his wide receiver spot. He gives that Rocky Mountain College a dynamic that is hard to match. So we're going to step aside. Halftime continues here at Rocky. We'll be back and take a look at some first half highlights between the Blue Hawks and the Bears. And welcome back to SWX football in the Frontier Conference. Halftime here in Billings. Battlin Bears lead it 14-7 as they look to improve to 2-0 in the Eastern Division standings. With a win today, they could get that done and stay tied with Montana Tech, depending on how the Ore Diggers do this afternoon. And for Dickinson State, coming in struggling, as we mentioned, 4-game losing streak, started the season, preseason, ranked 11th in the country in that first preseason poll. And as we talked about, used to winning football games, 10 straight years in the NEI playoffs for Coach Stanton and his bunch, but a lot of injuries to this team this year as they continue to fight through that. But getting players back, they're going to be a tough out for everybody, depending on who they play, just because of that good football tradition. And this game started slowly, Tyson, in the first quarter, but once it got going offensively, we saw some good offensive fireworks by both teams. I thought Dickinson ran the ball well and then mixed it up with those little swing passes out of the backfield, not trying to make the big play, but a good job. As we take a look at the first half highlights, and as we said, the Blue Hawks got it going on that short touchdown run from a few yards out, and that gave them the lead as Jackson Simonson went in for the touchdown. Here's Darius Haskin as he makes the catch here, and this was right before the half, and boy, once he catches and turns the Jets on, no one's catching him. So 14-7 at that point. This was Eric Lira. This was the first touchdown of the afternoon, and Lira, really good job after the catch. Every time he caught the football, he did a nice job picking up extra yards, and you see that move right at the 5-yard line as he goes in for the score, and that's where we stand at the break, 14-7 in favor of Rocky. And Tyson, if you're Rocky Mountain College, I don't think you do anything different in the second half.
There's no reason to change your scheme. there's no reason to change your idea of what you're doing for the fact that Dickinson isn't able to stop you in a lot of this. So you come out, you stay with what you've been doing. You may put in a little twist here and there, but there's no pressure, there's no urgency. Just stay with what you're doing offensively. Defensively, you're doing fine. Stick with your coverages, couple blitzes here and there, but the kids on Rocky's side is playing very well, and they're executing very well. Dickinson, on the other hand, yeah, they've had a lot of things going for them. This could obviously be a 14-14 game, but with Dickinson doing that toss pass in the first quarter that got intercepted in the end zone, that could have possibly been a tie game at half.
Yeah, it's that close, and as you mentioned, the interception keeping the Blue Hawks off the board, and they were in Rocky territory a lot in that first half, but have just the one touchdown. All right, we'll step aside one more time. Halftime rolls on SWX with the Bears and the Blue Hawks playing here in Hey, I'd like to let you know that if you're not able to catch us on SWX over the air, you can also catch us on the SWX app. Download the app and watch us anywhere, anytime as our Frontier Conference season rolls on. So get the SWX app. You can download on the App Store or Google Play. Our good friend Bobby Beers, I'm told, is giving us a watch on the app down in Texas. Actually down for a Formula One race. What's up with that, Tyson? I mean, we got football to be played.
We got football. I don't want to watch cars going around in a circle.
No.
I'd rather be up here. The weather's beautiful. We got a good game going on, and you just cannot pass up a football game here at Herb Clint Field.
The Rocky Bowl, as they like to call it. Other games in the Frontier Conference this week. The big one is Montana Western, ranked 15th in the country, at number 20 College of Idaho. That one is tied at the half. Montana State Northern at Mayville State. Simpson is up in Helena to take on Carroll College as the Saints continue to move, ranked 11th in the country, and Eastern Oregon is at Southern Oregon down in Ashland. We're set to go here in the second half of our game here in Billings, with the Bears leading 14-7 over the Blue Hawks. As we mentioned, Rocky with a win today would move to 2-0 in the Eastern Division, trying to keep pace with Montana Tech. Rocky gets the ball to start the second half. Quinn Calpin to kick it away. Calpin's kick is a short one. It's going to land. Oh, we should have let that one go out of bounds. Yep. Yeah, Trey Smith fielded at the 22, but that was going out of bounds.
Could have got that at the 35.
Yeah, would have got the 35. That's right. So we talked about Rocky, Tyson. For Dickinson State, what changes, if any, do you make going into the second half? But again, they've been pretty tough.
Defensively, I would stay true with what you've been doing. Maybe a little bit of pressure, a little bit more blitzing on Novak a little bit. Don't let him sit back there too long to take a look around. Offensively, stick with the run game. It's going to help the Hawks with their passing game. And eventually, if they keep going at it, there's going to be a big play that's going to break.
Okay, they do a little jet sweeper on the left side to start things off, and a good move, breaking tackles up over the 30. Close to the 35-yard line is Darius Haskin, and that's going to be enough for a first down. So, a guy like that, Tyson, with so much speed, so much quickness, just get him the football. And you see another way they can get it to him there on the little jet sweep, and picks up good yards for the first down.
And it just like any, you look at NFL teams and you have that one particular player that goes all over different positions, and that's the same thing that you should be doing with Haskins. Any way that you could get the ball in his hands is the best play.
Novak fires across the middle, underneath. That is up over the 40-yard line to Tough Adams. So Adams out of the backfield makes the catch at the 42. That's going to be a gain of 8, 2nd and 2. Opening drive, third quarter. Bears with a 14-7 lead.
Sorry, Chris, but I'm impressed with these running backs for Rocky between Brock Ping and Tough Adams, because they get out and they can catch the ball.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that their emergence, and there's Adams again, breaking tackles, horse-collared right at midfield.
And there's the flag.
Flag comes in, and that is going to be a foul. Jack Hartman grabbed him right up around the neck and jerked him down at midfield. We'll see what the call is. Yeah, so horse collar tackle, and that's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and takes it all the way down to the 36-yard line of Dickinson State. So Blue Hawks, Tyson, in territory now where you've given up 14 unanswered. If Rocky can come out, put a drive together, score here, that's going to put Dickinson State in a big hole.
Yeah, and a lot of pressure is going to be happening here for this Dickinson defense. They really need to do something there at the line of scrimmage.
Bears will stay on the ground, and this time nothing doing. Adams with the carry, but that time the Blue Hawks defense with a nice job getting into the backfield is number 39, Nathaniel Weilich, with the stop.
Wyatt Anderson, number 50 for the Blue Hawks, actually came out of his three-point stance and got pressure in the backfield, which really set that whole play off for the rest of the defensive unit to pursue the ball and get that tackle in the backfield.
12:50 to play, third quarter. And now a flag comes in, a false start against Rocky, so that'll back them up 5 on what would have been
and that
a second and 12, be second and 17.
And it kind of offsets that horse collar tackle, too, just setting Rocky back a little bit instead of that full 15 that they originally got. And if you remember in the first half, Sully got that pass interference that set Rocky up for that touchdown with Haskins. And I'm just kind of seeing the same resemblance here on this drive.
Second and 17 to Eric Lira. And Lira with the catch gets those penalty yards back at the 34-yard line. So that'll bring up 3rd and 9. So Lira picks up 8 on the play. Novak looks over for the sign. Trent Novak, redshirt sophomore, Arlington, Washington, Arlington High School. He was one of the guys that Coach Stutzream and his staff really went after coming out of high school. And when healthy, he is a dynamic player. Here's Novak now. Steps up, looks, now fires out here for Haskin, who makes the catch, makes a move at the 10, still on his feet inside the 7, and finally mark him out of bounds at the 6-yard line and a 1st and goal.
Novak was great in that. He was able to sit up in the pocket. He was able to scan all around the field. He did get pressure a little bit. He rolled out to his right, and that was a nice little touch feather pass over the defense to Haskins. As you can see here on the replay, Haskins just needs to go up, grab the ball, got a couple extra yards after the catch, and that was a good catch just for the fact that with that sun where it's at, he was able to see it and bring it in.
1st and goal from the 6. Novak fires into the back of the end zone, and this one is incomplete. Tried to get it to Eric Lira, who got out there in single coverage.
Novak has really played a very clean football game to this point.
Yeah, he has.
He hasn't made really crucial errors. He's able to take care of the ball. His passes have been clean, crisp. A couple of errant passes that have been thrown out of bounds, but nothing that has actually hurt this offense.
Novak gives to Adams. Adams is wrapped up and slammed down in the backfield. That's just a great defensive play by Shell Osborne. Shell Osborne, the junior from Laurel High School. How about that?
Kind of playing in his back. I bet he really doesn't like playing here at Rocky since he's had to play Central High School a lot.
That's right, yeah.
And he probably really hates this field.
That's right. Of course, Billings Central Rams use the Herb Clint Field as their home field, and you're right. Osborne's had some probably not too many memorable matchups. Here's a throw to the back of the end zone and touchdown, Rocky Mountain College. That was an absolute perfect dime. And that is Eric Lira on the receiving end and ups the lead to 20-7.
And that was the cornerback, Rustin Medenwald, that was on the coverage, and he lost the wide receiver in the end zone. The receiver went in as a post but went back out towards the pylon in the corner of the end zone and totally lost where the receiver was at, and it was definitely a good pass.
Beautiful pass, and Eric Lira gets his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Austin Drake on the extra point, and it's now 21-7 in favor of the Bears as they open up a 2-touchdown lead over the Blue Hawks from Dickinson State. Trent Novak to Eric Lira ups the lead to 21-7 in favor of Rocky Mountain College. And boy, Novak just dropped it in there over the shoulders on a beautiful play. And right now, the Blue Hawks secondary has had no answer for Eric Lira and Darius Haskin.
Lira, he had one drive in the first half that was all him, scored a touchdown. Now here, Lira, he just came out of his stance. He did a quick slant, three-step slant, and then he broke back out towards the pylon at the end of the end zone, and that's when Novak was able to just drop a little dime on him, and he didn't have to work hard to catch that ball.
This ball returned up over the 20-yard line, close to the 25. So Wicker on the return. Good contained there by the Rocky special teams on the gang tackle. So the Blue Hawks now in search of some offense, trailing 21-7, 10:32 to play here in the third quarter.
Well, Dickinson's now got some work to do. I wouldn't say I would put your hand on the urgency button quite yet, but they have to sustain a good drive, get some points up. Being down 2 touchdowns, if you get one up here, you're down 7, and then you can work your fourth quarter. But as of right now, I just wouldn't put the urgency button down quite yet.
So first down, Blue Hawks go right to the air on the slant pattern. Nice gain up to the 30-yard line. A nice catch by Cale Gundlach. Sean Tuddy in on the tackle. So give him 6 on the play. 2nd and 4.
And nothing special on the play. It was just a quick slant.
They've done a lot of those.
Yeah.
Little screen passes, slants. Trying to create some space. Simja Clark's been quiet for a while, their leading receiver. Let's see if they try to go to him. Here comes pressure up the middle. Sanders reads it, fires it out there for Gundlach, incomplete, 3rd down. So Gundlach had the first down if he could bring it in, but drops the ball, and just like that, it's 3rd down. A 3 and out here for Dickinson State. Would not be good, trailing 21-7 at this point of the game.
And Rocky did bring an inside blitz, in which the offensive line, we don't say offensive line names very much.
Unless they're penalized.
But Carson Lunick, the center, was able to snap the ball, get his head up, and actually catch that blitz, so there's no pressure on the quarterback.
Sanders feels pressure, now fires underneath, and this is going to be a first down gain. A nice job by Gage Gilbert, the sophomore out of Camp Crook, South Dakota. Gilbert does enough to get it to the first down sticks, and that'll be a first down to the 36-yard line.
And we haven't really said his name a lot in that second quarter. I'm hoping that with Dickinson that they get that young man more involved in this offense, especially for him being 6'6", 250. He can box out any defensive back and catch the ball.
He is a big target. So Sanders has Simonson in the backfield on first down. Now throws a quick little slant pattern. That is caught and off to the races. And here goes Jackson Wicker. And Wicker is at the 10-5 touchdown Blue Hawks. Jackson Wicker on the quick slant and then simply outruns the Battlin Bears defense. And where is Jackson Wicker out of? Sophomore? Miles City, Montana. The former Custer County Cowboy.
Right. Oh, that's a highlight film for that young man. And, boy, for him, he caught the ball. We thought that on contact he was going to go down, but the defensive player didn't really wrap up, kind of gave him a push thinking he was going to fall down, and Wicker took it all the way in for the touchdown.
So Dickinson State right back in this one on the touchdown pass from Sanders to Wicker. It's now 21-14 with 9 minutes to play here in the third. Today's Frontier Conference football matchup is brought to you in part by the Frontier Conference. The Frontier Conference, where champions are born. Well, just like that, Dickinson State right back in this game on the long touchdown strike from Marcus Sanders to Jackson Wicker, and there it is, Wicker out of Miles City. And Tyson, you talked about it in the first half. Coach Stanton recruiting so many players from the eastern half of the state in that Miles City, Sydney area, Glasgow, Glendive, and you look at their roster and you'd think that it was a Montana school in some ways.
Yeah, you would think, yeah. I mean, not only that, but you're getting that of players from these small rural communities. Baker, there's so many over in the eastern side of the state, and they're able just to find these, what we call little diamonds in the rough.
Well, that ball's bobbled inside the 5-yard line. And Rocky's going to start deep in their own end. And there's nothing like a 30 or 40-yard wind gust to speed up the old heart rate as we're high atop Clint Field. For someone that's had heart issues, Tyson, this is really not the
this is nothing that I'm looking forward to.
This is not the favorite scenario. But, no, we are absolutely fine.
Yeah, we're high up.
We are.
We're on a scissor lift and looking down. For me, this is a great view. You get to see the whole field. And now Rocky's not out of the woods yet.
Not at all.
They're only up 7, and they're going to have to do some things here. And like I was saying, with
fumble. And fallen on by Rocky, and that could have been disastrous as the ball popped loose at the end of the catch. Bears able to fall on it.
Well, and we were talking about that of Dickinson and being able to not put the foot down on the panic button quite yet. And look what happened. You just get a big play, and they're right back in this game, down by 7.
Novak fires across the middle's got a man at the 15. So Tyler Abbott in on the catch.
And we said that young man's name a lot today.
We sure
too,
have.
With Abbott.
Well, he's a great option from Lyra and Haskin with all those speed at the wideouts, and he just kind of runs those underneath routes and crossing patterns. And this will set up 3rd and 10. Novak now fires out here to the left flat, and that is picked off and coming back the other way. Dickinson State gets the interception back inside the 20 and finally taken out of bounds, and that was Nathaniel Weilich with the interception and gives the Blue Hawks an opportunity here as we are midway through the 3rd quarter.
A lot of things are changing right now, and here's what happened. Okay, you had Weilich. He was playing there in the flat, and he was playing the routes of the wide receivers, and Novak didn't see him, and he stepped underneath and got his hands up for the interception. And so he was playing the routes of the wide receivers, and here he just snuck underneath the route, and without even seeing him, Novak throws the pick to him, and now this puts Dickinson, the Blue Hawks, in position to inside the red zone for a potential score.
1st down. They throw it outside. Pitch and catch by Kyle Meineke. Gage Gilbert, rather, in on the catch. So Gilbert, they get it to the big tight end. Trey Smith runs him out of bounds.
And that kid is 6'6". That's a big kid. You see him catch it with one paw, puts his hand up and just sticks right to it and gets it down for a short gain.
We'll see if the Blue Hawks can capitalize now. On 2nd down. Gained a 2 on the play. 2nd and 8 from the 13. They do stay on the ground. Simonson, short gain, tries the left side. And Simonson gets 1, maybe 2 on the play. And this sets up 3rd down. Ball will be spotted right at the 10-yard line. Big play here. 3rd and 6 from the 11. Blue Hawks trailed 21-14.
Now they got twins up top. You got 2 wide receivers, 1 on the bottom.
Simonson, Mark. Oh, and this one's picked off and coming back the other way. Trey Smith at the 10. up over the 15 to the 20-yard line. And just like that, the Battlin Bears answer right back. That was a huge interception. And Trey Smith gives Rocky the football right back when it looked like the Blue Hawks were going to roll into the end zone and tie this game.
And that was the same sort of situation that we had when Dickinson actually intercepted the ball. You had a quick slant by the wide receiver, and Trey Smith went underneath the route and was able to pick it off without Sanders even seeing him. And so these are good disguised by these corners, being able to play like they're playing the flat and then breaking off and getting underneath these other routes to get the ball.
First down carry for the Bears. Lots of running room up over the 30-yard line. Brock Ping is going to move the chains and a first down for Rocky. So the Bears go into that running game. And Rocky now with a first down from the 32. Clock continues to run here in the third. Under 6 to play. Bears stay on the ground again, this time a much better job defensively. But Ronnie Waters in on the stop. Riley Waters, the senior from Sydney. Good job there in the middle, brings up 2nd and 10.
Well, we've had a lot of change of field position with both these interceptions.
No back, they throw underneath, and this ball is jarred loose. On the ground, looks like the Bears did recover. So Darius Haskin again on the reception, but for the second time today gets it knocked away. But ball is recovered at the 45-yard line and alertly on it. Recovered by the Bears, so a first down at the 45-yard line. It's a little ball control issue for Haskin, but able to avoid a turnover there. First down. And again, boy, that Dickinson State defense. Brock Ping on the carry. Shell Osborne again on the stop. And Osborne flying in there and stoning that play right at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Well, this is going to be important for this Dickinson unit being able to get a stop here. We got 2nd and long. Trying to get the ball back into your offensive players' hands. They're playing the run very well.
Yeah, their first down, they've done a great job on first down, setting up 2nd and long. Here's Novak, fires out here in the flat, and that is incomplete. Just kind of short-armed it a little bit. Was intended for Haskin.
That was interesting with the Dickinson defense. They only showed 3 down linemen, but they also brought 2 linebackers, so they're bringing 5 on the rush. I think Novak wasn't quite ready for that, underthrew the ball, and now looks like Dickinson's going to put, three men down front, and linebackers ready to come again.
Yeah, they send one, Novak, fires it up here for Lira, and Lira just can't hang on to it. Had it for a moment at the 15-yard line. I think he was wanting pass interference, but incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
Yeah, he was looking at the refs going, hey, he had his hands all over me. He was pushing me down the sideline, looking for a flag. But from a referee's perspective, probably just not enough to warrant a flag.
Rustin Mendenhall was back there in single coverage. That's a tall order with Eric Lira, but able to stay with him, knock it down, 4th down. So Rocky now forced to punt. Cale Gunlack back inside his 20-yard line. Jordan Legg will angle this one away. Ball hits at the 15 and then rolls out of bounds. Nice job by Jordan Legg as he kicks it inside the 10-yard line. So the Blue Hawks have the football trailing 21-14 from the 9-yard line when we come back. Welcome back to Clint Field here on the campus of Rocky Mountain College. 21-14 is our score. Dickinson State trails with the football, and a long way to go. 91 yards away from tying this thing up. 3:42 to go here in the third. Keep an eye on number 8 for the Blue Hawks. He has been quiet here in the second half. Their leading receiver, Samaj Clark. He'll stay on the ground, picks up 1 to the 10, 2nd and 9. Cade Reynolds in on the stop. NAI poll released earlier this week, and no change among the top 5 teams in the country. Grandview, Iowa, number 1. Kaiser, Florida's 2. 4 teams from the Frontier Conference in the top 25 this week. Montana Tech in at number 6. Carroll College continues to move up at 11. Montana Western 15. College of Idaho at 20. Bulldogs and College of Idaho playing today. There's Clark, and Clark with the catch. Right on cue. We talked about him.
Yep.
Yeah, he is their main man offensively. He's a explosive wide receiver, makes the catch, and he's going to be right at the first down marker, and he's got it.
And that's the thing with as a defensive back with a dynamic receiver such as Clark, that you got to give him a little bit of cushion because you're afraid to get beat deep, but yet you don't want him to catch everything in front of you either, because then you get that one-on-one with him, and so being a defensive back, you have to be smart when you're covering him.
Tyce Dazinger on the carry, but nothing there. John Aragon in on the stop. Well, the official got on his microphone and said, "Turn the music down." Does that sound like a dad yelling at his kid?
It sounds like a dad, but yet maybe he just didn't like the music that was being played, and he was like, "Hey, can you put on a little R&B, maybe a little bit, a little bit something up tempo, maybe?"
I got to say, that's the first I've heard an official turn the music down. Here's 2nd down and 10. All kinds of time over the middle and almost picked off at the 35-yard line. My goodness, Cade Reynolds was all alone, and the ball just sailed through his hands, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
That was the only wide receiver in the area.
Yeah.
And there must have been some miscommunication between Sanders and his receivers, but there was no one around that pass 10 yards or closer.
You almost think it's a spot throw, like he's just throwing to an area of the field, and there was nobody there except for Cade Reynolds. So here we go, 3rd and 10. Gundlach comes across. Sanders, plenty of time, looks straight down the middle, and this one is caught by it right at the 40-yard line and hauled in there by Jackson Wicker. And it was Wicker, of course, Tyson, that had the catch and touchdown earlier, and makes another huge play here.
And they're giving him the play. They were saying it was incomplete because as he went down to the ground, they said the ball came loose. But here's the thing. He had possession of the ball, went down, slid, and then as the play was dead, then the ball came out.
You go right back to Wicker again, who's upended inside the 35-yard line. A good open field tackle by Samar Turner. But another positive gain as this will set up 2nd and 1.
Yeah, Samar Turner's been busy these last 2 plays. The ball's been going his way. He's just able to wrap up and get the ball carriers down.
So quick hitter gains 9, 2nd and 1. Minute to play here in the third, 1st down. So Simonson gets enough for the 1st down at the 30. Rocky player shaken up. Daniel Dominguez in on the stop for the Bears. But that is a 1st down. It'll move the chains.
And
Blue Hawks.
Yeah, we got a D lineman down for Rocky. I can't see the number.
Coach Stutz coming out to check on his player.
It looks like Dakota Sage.
Yeah, Sage, an important part of that defensive unit for the Bears.
6 foot, 300-pound redshirt junior.
Tyson, always a good atmosphere here at the Rocky Bowl, and what makes it so unique, and as a former player here, that you've got that natural bowl and fans bring their blankets, and the kids are sliding up and down the field. And
when I was here as a player, you really don't recognize that because you're so entwined with the game and what's going on. Now I can appreciate it a lot more when you can bring your kids to the bowl and they're running around and you're sitting on the grass. I mean, there's so much appreciation for this field and the atmosphere that you got to actually be here to experience it.
Oh, and here's a catch by Clark, who beats his man and gets inside the 15-yard line. He's had 2 big catches in this drive, and this is going to be a first down.
And again, that was on Samar Turner. He's been super busy. He did reach out there, just not enough to stretch out to knock the ball down. And your big
play receiver.
Yep.
First down. Ball's at the 15. Simonson is going to be wrapped up and taken down right at the line of scrimmage. So Simonson, not much there. Good stop defensively by John Aragon, and that's going to take us to the end of 3. We got a good one brewing here in Billings. Bears lead at 21-14, but Dickinson State knocking on the door. We're back with the 4th quarter after this. You're watching college football on SWX. Welcome back to the final 15 here at Herb Clint Field. Dickinson State trailing by 7 with a 2nd and 10 from the 15-yard line. This is a must-score situation for the Blue Hawks, as well as Rockies move the ball in the second half. You've got to cash in when you get the opportunity. So we'll see what they come with. Marcus Sanders gone all the way at quarterback. Done a nice job today for the Blue Hawks.
Rockies in a 2-high safety. They're rotating over in their zones.
Incomplete pass it was intended for Gundlach on the slant inside the 10-yard line. And that brings up 3rd down.
And the reason why I say that is because underneath they're putting pressure on the wide receivers of the Hawks so that they don't get a free release. And that's exactly what happened on that last play to where we had the incomplete pass, is that you had the corner right up on the wide receiver and there's no room to put the ball.
So big play here on 3rd down. Just underway in the 4th quarter. They're going to move Gilbert to the outside. Sanders now comes underneath, and the catch is made at the 15, but that nets nothing. No gain. Got it to Adrian Calderon, and now out comes the field goal unit as they'll try to pick up 3 here. Ty Nelson comes on, sophomore from Dickinson High School, playing for his home team. Gundlach will hold. Ball will be spotted at the 22. It's a 32-yard field goal attempt, and this one is short. So Nelson, not enough leg to get it through, and the Blue Hawks are turned away. Big stand for the Rocky defense, and they have the football.
Initially, it looked like someone off of the Rocky team was able to get up and get a paw on that ball. That's why it seemed to stop and slow.
All right, timeout on the field. Battlin Bears get the football back, leading 21-14 here in the 4th. Back at Herb Clint Field, Battlin Bears turning the Blue Hawks away, so they have the football at the 20-yard line in a 21-14 game. And again, just a reminder, hey, check out This Week in the Frontier Conference. Myself, along with Bobby Beers, bring you all things Frontier Conference, scores, highlights, top 25, interviews, Thursday, 6:30 on SWX. Hope you can join us for that. So here we go on first down, and the Bears will stay on the ground. No gain on the play. Good job of contain as Tough Adams is taken down for no gain. Riley Waters in on the stop for the Blue Hawks.
And the Blue Hawks have been really playing the run game of Rocky really well. They gave up one long run in the first half during the second quarter, but since then, initially they're really stopping this Rocky run game.
2nd and 10 for Trent Novak. He's gone all the way today for Rocky. Played very well, very consistent. Now looks, rolls out, directing traffic. Now throws back across his body, makes the catch at the 35-yard line, and a first down. Comes Eric Lira. And Tyson, you tell me how Trent Novak can go on a sprint, running to his right, and throw clear back across the field and hit his man on a dime.
That was an unbelievable play. He did get hit, and he got hit hard because of rolling out. And as you can see, he got it to Lira, which was a great pass. Lira really didn't have to work that hard to catch the ball. But Lobeck, he sat in the pocket. He scanned the field. He was looking around. He felt a little pressure coming from his backside. He was able to roll out to the right and then be able to throw across his body to Lira for a great gain.
Well, but this is bad news here, because I believe that's Trent Novak that's on. Yep. So Novak is on the ground at the 10-yard line, and keep in mind, this is a kid that's had some pretty serious injuries in his career. He had a complete hip replacement, broken leg, had an injury against Montana Tech, and boy, you do not want to see this.
Well, in the way that they're looking at him right now, because he was rolling to his right and releasing the ball, when he got hit, I imagine that he landed on that right shoulder, the way that they're moving his arm around, to where it could be a shoulder issue, a clavicle issue. He's leaning back right now, which means that he's putting a little pressure there. But yeah, he got hit hard.
Well, it was awkward because he's running hard to his right, and then he has to turn and fire back across the middle, and yeah, he comes off kind of gingerly there. So they will hope for the best for Trent Novak, and now coming off the field on his own power, but that would be a tough loss for Rocky if he's unable to get back into the ball game. So the Bears will lose Novak for the time being, and stepping in will be Luke Holcomb, the redshirt senior and transfer from Washington State. Plenty of experience at quarterback, Holcomb has. And a first down. They will stay on the ground. Oh, just good hard running to the 45-yard line. That's a nice job by Tough Adams, who was hit right at the line of scrimmage. Riley Waters brings him down at the 43.
And I wasn't surprised with this play call, bringing Holcomb in, running the ball right away, seeing where Novak is on the sideline. Maybe he would be able to come back in right away. But Holcomb is staying in for the second play here. Probably, if you imagine a pass play, is going to be something that's short to build some confidence.
Bears content to stay on the ground. Yep. Adams again up over the 45-yard line. And that's going to set up 3rd and 4. Ball's at the 46. Make it 3rd and 3. Clock continues to run now. 12-15 and counting here in the 4th. Big third down play for both teams as the Blue Hawks hope to get it back. Now movement. Bears signal it's against Dickinson. We'll see if they jumped. And I believe this is going to go against Dickinson State.
Novak is on the sideline throwing the ball a little gingerly, but he's working that right arm a little bit. Imagine he's going to be coming back in.
So offsides on May Stuber. And that gives the Bears a first down inside Dickinson State territory from the 49. Bears will keep this drive alive. Holcomb stays in for the time being at quarterback. Holcomb now fires out here, and a nice pass and catch at the 35-yard line. And that's going to be another first down. So that goes to Eric Lira, who's been a very busy man this afternoon, Tyson.
Yeah, Lara was able to get break on the ball. You had Rustin Mendenwald, the corner, did break on the ball very well. Got there a little bit late, but was able to get the tackle. And that ball seemed to float a little bit in the air.
Got the job done, though. Fresh set of downs. And Adams again on the carry. Picks up 2, maybe 3 on the play, 2nd and 7. Rocky doing a nice job using clock here in the 4th quarter. Continues to run, 11 minutes and counting. And one of the advantages of Rocky at the quarterback position is, Luke Holcomb's a guy that's had plenty of experience, played last year in relief, has seen playing time this year. And coming in and trying to seal the deal for Rocky here in the 4th quarter. Holcomb looks left, fires out here in the flat, intended for Haskin, incomplete, 3rd down.
Well, that wasn't his best pass, and he tried to get rid of the ball really quick. It was a quick route, quick throw. He barely just got the ball on the snap before he had to throw it right away. But you're right, Holcomb is when you put Holcomb in, you're not losing that much at the quarterback position. But we just saw him run off. We have Novak back in the game.
So Novak shakes off what appeared to be, could have been a serious injury, but he's back in the game. Good to see if you're a fan of the Battlin Bears. 3rd and 8 from the 33. Novak looks right, now throws back across the middle, and that is going to be short of the first down.
And he seemed to be pretty well. I mean, he stood in the pocket. He threw the ball. He's still kind of wiggling that arm out a little bit to feel how it's going. But, he stood in the pocket. He had a good release. Didn't seem like he lost any velocity on his throw at all. It probably hurts a little bit. But, it's nice to see him back in the game.
Good play by Jillick out there to stop that play. So 4th and 5 from the 30, and the Bears will go. Novak looks, now fires across the middle, got a man wide open at the 10-yard line. And what is the call here?
Incomplete.
Is intended for Eric Lira, and he was absolutely hammered at the 10-yard line. He is still down.
Lira was looking back. He was focusing on the ball. Okay, he was looking back, and the ball was in the air. He did catch the ball, but he never really had both feet. He didn't have like a football move. But Jack Hartman coming over from his position as safety and just clocks him as he was catching the ball. And even Hartman himself, I was watching him come over to the sideline, and I think he kind of hurt himself on the way back. He's like, oh, that was a hard hit, because Lara is not a small receiver.
No, he's still down, and those are the kind of balls, if you're a wide receiver, when you're coming across the middle like that, that you're going to run into that. And you can see it again right here as Novak fires across the middle.
1, 2, yeah, that was definitely an incomplete pass. He was juggling the ball, trying to maintain control of the ball, and didn't have complete possession of the ball when Hartman hit him. So that is a good call of it being an incomplete pass. And Lara kind of reminds me of one of those receivers that, he's a big kid. You want him to go in the heart of that defense. You know you're going to get hit. Mostly for him, he's the kind of receiver that puts more of a punishment on those defensive backs than the other way around.
Well, he walks off the field under his own power, which is good to see. He was down for a while, but what a good play by Jack Hartman. A hard play, but a clean play. And that gives the ball back to Dickinson State. That was a 4th down call. So here come the Blue Hawks. Still plenty of time to play in this one. 9:40 in the 4th, trailing by a touchdown. Sanders gets hit, now fires across the middle, just throws it away.
Sanders had a lot of time to scan the field. It was a good, what we would say like maybe a coverage sack. He wasn't able to find anybody, pressure to get rid of it right away, and threw it down in the ground. That was a good play by that secondary for the Battling Bears.
2nd down now from the 30 for the Blue Hawks. Sanders going to fire out here in the flat, incomplete, and that was intended for Calderon.
Calderon seemed to lose his balance a little bit in that route, and so he kind of stumbled, had to get back up, stumbled again. By that time, he had no chance at the ball.
It's a 10-yard out, but from where they are on that left hash. Okay, so they'll decline the penalty on the incomplete pass, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
And the reason why they called that is because when he was going in motion, he was coming up. He took a step towards the line of scrimmage and then got back into motion and across. And so that's the intent of going forward, and that's why they call him for the flag.
So 3rd down and 10 from the 30. Simonson out of the backfield. Flag comes in. And the pass is caught, but hold everything. Gage Gilbert on a short short gain. He picked up 5, but we'll see what the flag is.
Well, here we had 2 people not set at the same time. So this is going to be
It'll be 4th down, Dickinson State.
illegal shift is what I thought. You had two wide receivers moving at the same time. They weren't set for that complete 1 second, and so now you get the flag. Rocky's going to decline it, get a 4th down, and force them to punt.
Now 4th and 5, so they'll kick it away. Good job by that Bears defense to force the 3 and out. And this ball off the side of the foot, man, Rocky's going to get great field position. Everybody gets out of the way. And that ball goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, I think the punter had a little bit of heard some footsteps because they did allow one of the Rocky players.
All right, we will step aside. Rocky with the football and the lead when we come back. And welcome back to Clint Field, where Rocky Mountain College leading 21-14 with 9:09 to play here in the 4th quarter. Big series coming up here for Rocky and for Dickinson. The Bears would like to slam the door on this one if they can punch it in. They're at the 34-yard line on a 1st down. Novak fires across the middle's got a man at the 20. To the 10-5 touchdown Rocky Mountain College, and it is Eric Lira, the man that was down on the field just moments ago, comes back into the game, takes the pass from Trent Novak, scores the touchdown, and the Bears up the lead.
And Lara, he was in the slot, and he ran a post pattern. It was a skinny post, so it wasn't a hard angle. He was getting up the field, got past the corner. There's no safety over the top, and Novak was able to find him in the center of the field. Then it was just off to the races, and Lara say, hey, you may put me down for one play, but you're not going to put me down for the game.
I'm back. So Eric Lira, who's already had a fantastic game, caps off that drive, and what a timely touchdown for the Bears as they up the lead now pending the extra point.
And that's where I was thinking with the defense, you know, this was a huge stand that the Hawks had to. Here we go. There's the post pattern right on the seam of the field, and he splits between the corner and the safety, off to the races, and no one was going to catch Lira.
So Rocky can breathe a little bit easier now. After the touchdown, extends the lead to 28-14. So the Rocky offense, you know, that big play capability with Lira and Haskin, you never know how they're going to strike and how quick they're going to strike. And this one coming at a most opportune time for Rocky, as Dickinson State had their chances to tie this game, but now the lead is 14.
See, the wind's blowing a little bit, and the ball comes off the stand. Now, yeah, Dickinson really put themselves in a hole here, especially for that defense where they really needed to get a stand there, maybe even hold Rocky to a field goal or turnovers. So this is going to put a little bit more pressure on that Blue Hawk offense.
So the Bears to kick it away. And now Dickinson State with a real sense of urgency. And Dickinson State with a long way to go, trailing by a couple of touchdowns. Sanders has gone all the way at quarterback for the Blue Hawks. And they'll need to work quickly. Empty backfield. Boy, they've run this play a bunch today. And a nice start to the drive as Kayla Rist gets the ball.
They've ran that several times throughout the game where you have your wide out, your wide receiver running a post, and then you get the running back coming out of the backfield running a wheel route behind it, and they keep hitting it because they're just trying to rub that corner and getting that defense to suck towards the center of the field.
2nd and 1 and a first down catch to Gunlack over the 40. That'll move the chains. So quickly.
And Dickinson really doesn't have a lot of time here because the clock is going against them now, and they're going to have to start rushing their offense a little bit, get the play calls in, okay, let the quarterback set up, scan the defense, and then get the play off.
Running play up to the 43. Rist gets it to the, we'll call it the 44. So give them 3 on the play, 2nd and 7.
A little bit surprised with the draw play. Maybe they're, for Dickinson, they're trying to get everybody on the Bears side to draw back, open up the center for the draw. The D-line did not bite for it, nor did the linebackers, and it was a short run.
Bears show pressure up the middle. Sanders fires out here and incomplete. Flag comes in. Not sure what the call is going to be there.
Looks like it's holding on the Blue Hawks.
All right, so holding on the Bears defense, and that's going to give Dickinson State a first down in Rocky territory at the 44-yard line.
Oh, so it was holding on Rocky. Okay. The way that the one ref that threw the flag was pointing towards the Blue Hawk offense.
First down. Sanders with all kinds of time now pulls it down and chased down at the 41-yard line. So a short game, more important. Clock continues to run. John Aragon in on the stop.
Ooh, Sanders is down?
Yeah, Sanders is down. And remember, he was nicked up and missed a couple of games for Dickinson State early in the season, and he is staying down, trying to stretch that leg out. So it's the Rocky trainer over there.
Yeah.
Kind of helping him out. And
well, all trainers help each other out. And it looks like for him it could just be a muscle cramp. I mean, that's actually the first time that he tucked the ball and ran with it.
You know, they're going to tend to him. Well, Chase Freeze, the junior from Flasher, North Dakota, warms up on the sideline. We talked about the game day atmosphere, Tyson, at the Rocky Bowl with the natural bowl and the fans coming out. But, you know, the late, great Bruce Parker did such a fantastic job with this new stadium renovation and the artificial turf, the lights, but more important, put a really nice tailgate section together for the fans. And as we look over to our right, a lot of folks out there having a good time, got the grills going. And
you know, it's the best part about game atmosphere, especially here at Rocky. He set up the tailgate section. The
Yeah, I know what your favorite pastime is when you're not working.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get your affinity for tailgating.
Tailgating is first and foremost. The game's second. And if it's not a good game, well, we don't even come into the stadium.
Freeze. Incomplete pass. Good. Oh, did he catch it? Yes, he did. Wow. Samaj Clark with an outstanding catch. Went low to get it. And that is going to give the Blue Hawks a first down from the 36-yard line. You know, as we go travel around the Frontier Conference, and you know, every school has their own unique game day atmosphere, and Rocky's done a lot to improve there. So here we go, first down from the 36. And good tackle from behind the line of scrimmage. And that is going to be a loss on the play as Freeze goes down. And Jabari Madison comes from the blind side, makes the tackle. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
Jamari was playing the D end on the right side, and for him, he was able to set the edge to where no one could get outside of him. He was able to shake off the tackle, come with inside to get the tackle, and great play, great individual play by that young man.
Here's Freeze. Steps up. Now he's going to run the football, and he'll slide at the 30-yard line. Yeah, that's going to be a late hit.
Well, it's not going to be a late. What happened is that he was going down to slide, and then the defensive player came in with the shoulder and hit him right on the head, right on the helmet. And so, as a precaution here, as the trainers are coming out, first and foremost, they're going to make sure that, hey, we're going to go into concussion protocol right away.
So a big hit, and that was on Sanders, who had come back into the game. Oh. So you're right, Tyson. Targeting was the call, and yeah, they're going to look at it under the hood here, but you're exactly right. Sanders had come back into the game and took a shot right at the end of the play, so they'll go under the tent and take a look at this and see if it is targeting.
And I don't know which linebacker it was, but Sanders, you know, he started to run, and then he knew he was going to get tackled, so he slid, you know, feet first. And at that time, that's when the linebacker came in and put a shoulder pad right on his helmet. And when Sanders got up, you saw he was gingerly jogging over, and I could tell right away just by the way he was walking over back to the sideline that he was not feeling very well. And so they are going to check it underneath the hood for targeting. And again, I go back to being a defensive player myself, that it is so hard when you're going 100 miles an hour to let up on a tackle when you don't know if that wide receiver or that running back or even the quarterback in this situation is going to slide or hold up or run, you know, because you want to come in on the tackle, you want to stop the ball, but you cannot adjust your momentum in point-something seconds. You just can't do it.
Well, you're asking a player, as you said, you know, to try to hold up when all the momentum is taking you into the play. So this is going to be one of those really close. Here it is again. We'll see if we can. You're right. Can't pick up who that was that came in, but kind of hit him near the head. So
I want to say it was number 17, Cade Reynolds. I believe it was Cade Reynolds that came in and hit him high as he was going low. And again, you can't fault the player. And I know that I totally understand that it's player safety, especially nowadays with all the head injuries and the concussions and all the after effects. And I understand that of the safety of the player. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, in the middle of the play, when you're going 100 miles an hour, you just can't stop.
Well, this is a big call, obviously, for both teams. Dickinson in Rocky territory with a chance to get to within one score if they can finish off this drive.
Well, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, right?
Yep.
And so now you're going to be looking at getting the ball on around the 15, 16-yard line, which will then give the Blue Hawks an opportunity to score, cutting this back down to a one-score game. And then if your defense steps up, gets the ball back to the Blue Hawks, we can have a tie game by the end of regulation.
You still have 5:55 to go. Dickinson State with all 3 of their timeouts remaining, plus the 2-minute warning. So let's, I think they're ready to make, now they're taking one more look at it here.
And Dickinson, though, if they can get a shot into the end zone here and get a quick score within the next minute, off the kickoff, I mean, and like you said, Chris, you have 4 potential timeouts here, okay? And be able to, if your defense can shut down Rocky, use those timeouts within that time, get the ball back, you have a potential here of tying the game up.
Here we go.
After review, the ruling of targeting is confirmed. Number 17 has been disqualified.
Oh boy, so that's big. So Cade Reynolds is disqualified, and of course he's going to have to sit out first half of next week as well.
Next week's game, yep.
But even bigger than that is the penalty is going to move the ball, as you said, Tyson, to the 17-yard line. So it's first down from the 17. Sanders is back out of the game. Jace Freeze is in. So Reynolds. Cade Reynolds called for targeting. Now Sanders will come back in.
Which is interesting with the way that he got hit. I'm shocked that he's back in.
So he'll come back into the game from the 17, first down. 5:55 to go here in the fourth. Sanders has time, now looks, fires, got a man complete, and stretching for the football and making the catch is Jackson Wicker. And Wicker has had himself a game this afternoon. Ran into Kelly Reed, Tyson, before the game, and he's down from Miles City, and I bet you dollars to donuts he's down here watching Jackson Wicker.
Oh, yes, definitely. And that's a name I haven't heard for a while.
Sanders feels pressure, back of the end zone, and all kinds of collision, and that's a touchdown for Dickinson State. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable catch by their star receiver, Semja Clark, and somehow he comes down with it. Adrian Calderon checked that, is the one that caught it. Clark was right there with him, but Calderon with the catch. And don't count the Blue Hawks out just yet. Extra point pending to cut this to a 7-point game.
What a catch, up in the air.
Extra point is good.
And you had defensive players hanging all over you and still able to come down with the ball. That was an amazing play.
Well, it was dangerous. I mean, rolling to his right and just threw it into traffic. And somehow Calderon was able to come down with it. Here it is again.
Yep, so we got Calderon, and you got people hanging all over. You got 4 people in one area going for the ball. And even the Rocky secondary is like, how did you catch that?
Well, you can't fault the Bears on that one. I mean, that was just good coverage.
It was good coverage. It was a tight area to throw the ball. You had one of your other teammates in the area, so you don't really know who the ball is going to. You're just reacting to it, and just lucky enough to come down with the ball.
So Dickinson State very much in this one at 28-21. And again, we've mentioned it, plenty of time on the clock, 3 timeouts remaining, 2-minute warning. And now for the Bears, it'll be up to their offense to keep Dickinson State away from getting the football back.
And if you're Rocky offensively, you don't want to just sit back and let things happen.
Bears are going to get great field position on the short kick as Lyra takes it up over the 30 to the 32-yard line. And so here comes Rocky now, and if you're the Bears in offense, and Coach Stutz, job one is to keep the football, grind out some first downs as the
Well,
90-mile-an-hour winds continue to wreak havoc on the.
Well, we're just getting papers thrown all over the place.
We have. we have more game notes in the Rocky tailgate section than we do in front of us. We'll just leave it at that.
Now, if I was Rocky here, I would not settle with just running the ball. I would still play your offense, stay with your schemes, still be aggressive. It's only a 7-point game, and you got to get points up on the board. You don't want to just be relaxed. You're okay with where you're at. Run the ball, because if you don't get these first downs and you're not aggressive, you're just going to give the ball back, and that momentum is on Blue Hawks' side.
Oh, I agree.
And you don't want them to, with the time remaining and the timeouts and everything. You got to keep the pedal down and keep going.
Novak does go to the air, first down pass and catch to the 45-yard line, and that was big for Rocky, and that will move the chains and give them a first down. Trent Novak showing great composure to Eric Lira. You know, Eric Lira is going to need some time in the
ice bath.
In the ice bath after this game, but I'll tell you what, it isn't going to hurt nearly as much if the Bears can get the win, and when he looks at his numbers, that's impressive what he's done today.
Well, the kid is going to spend a lot of time in the training room today, tomorrow, possibly through Monday. But, I mean, yeah, it won't hurt as bad if you come out with the victory today.
So big first down gainer from the 45. Novak fires out here in the flat, caught by Lira. And Lira swung around and slammed down at the 40-yard line. And that is another 15-yard gain and another first down for Rocky Mountain College.
Now,
they've had no answer for Eric Lira today.
No, and I'm just wondering, is Lira also on punt return, kickoff? We know he's on kickoff return. What is it that the kid doesn't do?
Well, and then it's the dual threat with Haskin on the other side. And then, oh, by the way, you've got tight ends that do a great job of catching the football on those underneath routes, and a lot of offense put up by the Bears. So in plus territory at the 41st down. Clock continues to run. 2:56 and counting. Novak. We got a wide open Eric Lira again inside the 30 to the 26-yard line and a first down.
And you had Chase Sully again guarding Lira. They just don't have any answer for him. They really don't. Unless you double up and your safeties know exactly where Lira is lining up. But again, like you were mentioning, Chris, if they all cheat over to Lira's side, now you're leaving Haskins open on the other side. Today, actually watching Rocky's offense, it's a real well-rounded game that they've had today. Their passing game has been on point. Their running game, and you got two running backs that have been running hard, and they're swinging out, catching the ball. It's been a good game plan for Rocky today.
Tough Adams starts to the outside, cuts it up in, picks up a couple, and now there's still now all kinds of flags are flying in. And now we got a little extracurricular going on, teams pushing and shoving. And, yeah, that's the officials do a great job, Tyson, jumping in there. All five of them are in there separating the players. 2 flags, 3 flags on the field. I think Dickinson was calling a timeout prior to the 2-minute warning. And then when the whistle blew, after I think what was a timeout, that's when the pushing and shoving started. So we'll sort it all out and see what's going to.
Well, I know that they're and the refs are going to sort this out, but you know, I think we're going to get a personal foul for after the play on Rocky. Yep.
Okay, so offsetting penalties so that the play doesn't stand. But as I mentioned, Dickinson called a timeout prior to the 2-minute warning. So they get the timeout at 2:03. So now they still have 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. So a good job by the Blue Hawks to get that stop before the 2-minute warning. And again, offsetting penalties, so they will replay this one. The ball is at the 26-yard line. It'll be first down for Rocky. Next play will take us to the 2-minute warning, and then Dickinson will have that and 2 timeouts to try to get the ball back. And if Rocky can get a little bit closer, Tyson, definitely in field goal range of Austin Drake, and then a 2-possession game would all but seal the deal for the Bears.
Right.
That said, Drake's a good kicker, but there is a strong, strong wind blowing right now.
And the wind is going from west to east, and so, yeah, you're going to have to get close. There's no way that you're going to be able to kick a 30, 35-yard field goal without the wind actually being a big issue for the kicker. So getting a little bit closer would be a lot nicer.
They stay on the ground. Tough Adams, no gain. No, he picks up a few on the play. That takes us to the 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Rocky with a second down from the 20-yard line and 5 to go when we come back. Here we go for the final 2 minutes to go in this game. Battlin Bears looking at a 3rd and 4 from the 20. This is ball game for the Dickinson State defense. They have a must stop here to have any chance to come back and try to tie this game. Let's see what Rocky comes with. Do they stay on the ground to Tough Adams, or does Trent Novak go up to the air? Yeah, he does. Fires back of the end zone, got him in wide open, and that is intercepted in the end zone. Oh, it looked like Rustin Mendenwall stepped in at the last moment and gets the interception in the end zone, and the Blue Hawks have life. Rocky went for it all.
That was kind of to me, that was a bad pass, just for the fact that it was into double coverage, and also I thought there was a little bit of a push off by the wide receiver, but throwing it up into double coverage was not a good decision by Novak.
So Coach Stanton and the Blue Hawks have life. First down, 80 yards away from tying this game. Pass is caught by Gundlach up to the close to the 30-yard line. They're going to mark him a yard short. Goins with the tackle. So gain of 9, 1:39 to go, clock running. Pass across the middle, and this one's picked off. Coming back the other way and sliding in for the interception, and what looks to be the ball game is Rocky Mountain College Sean Tuddy. Sean Tuddy takes the ball. It was popped straight up, makes the interception, and that could seal it for the Battlin Bears.
Did that ball hit that of Jackson Wicker and then pop up off his foot or back leg into Tuddy's hands? To me, it's just like, where did it come from? And, well, I mean, there it is. Yeah, he kicks it. he kicks it off of his leg up in the air, and Tutty was just in the right place at the right time and gets the interception. That's a favor.
Well, and those, as a defensive back yourself, those are the free interceptions you like, right? Yeah, look what I
work
found.
for it, yeah. It's a present on Christmas morning.
First down from the 38. Not much there, and Dickinson State now will have to use one of their 2 timeouts remaining. Brock Ping on the carry. No gain, 2nd and 10. Dickinson has 1 timeout remaining with 1:25 to go, so they can stop it again on 2nd down, and then the clock will run on 3rd. So Sean Tutty hoping his interception puts an exclamation point on the Bears' 2nd win in the Eastern Division of the Frontier Conference. Keep in mind, the winner of the division gets the automatic bid to the NAIA tournament. So if you're Rocky, you start the season, as we talked about, 4 straight losses against 4 nationally ranked teams, but then they came back and won their divisional opener against Valley City State. If they win today and continue on, they would control their own destiny.
And they play Northern tomorrow or next weekend.
Next
correct?
week they're up in Havre against MSU Northern, where history suggests that that's not always an easy win for Rocky.
No,
if you remember last year, Northern got their only win of the season in the final week as they took down Rocky.
And that was 2 years in a row.
That's right.
Where Northern had a sub 500 record, and you would think Rocky would go in and win, and huge upsets.
Bears stay on the ground. Push forward to the 35-yard line.
You know, that was an unfortunate interception for the Blue Hawks.
Oh, yeah.
You get into a play, you're thinking that you can go down, tie the game, and then just this mishap of just kicking the ball up in the air, and you're going, are we really going to lose off of something like that?
Well, it's been that kind of game, Tyson. We're just back at those key interceptions, turnovers. That play by Tutty, it's been that kind of game where it's flipped the script on who's going to win. And, we talked about Rocky controlling their own destiny. Yes, they did lose to Montana Tech early in the season, but that was not a divisional game. So they have Tech again, the only team they'll play twice this year, coming up in 2 weeks. If they get to that game undefeated, for the Bears, you're thinking that's our road to the postseason.
It is.
If they could beat Tech, because they would be favored in their last 2 games, but although no games are ever easy in the Frontier, never discount anyone. And now the Dickinson State Blue Hawks are out of timeouts, and it's 3rd down. And Ping is going to be stopped short of the 1st down, so now the clock will continue to run. And between the play clock and the shot clock, let's see, is going to be about 36 seconds.
Yep. So 36 seconds, run the clock all the way. What I imagine Rocky's going to do, they're just going to run it all the way down, call timeout with the second left, and then they'll decide, what you're going to do. First and foremost, you're not going to punt the ball here in this situation. I would imagine what they're going to do. They're going to call a timeout here at the end of the play clock, which right about now.
Yep.
And then come out, run the ball again. No one can stop the ball, and then you're just going to have to play some prevent defense for the Bears.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Okay, so they took the penalty, so that tells me they're going to punt, Tyson.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they're going to punt, but it backs it up to the 37, so they'll try to pin Dickinson State deep, but again, they can't run the clock out, so the Blue Hawks will at the very least get the football back with a couple of shots here to try to come up with some sort of a miracle 4th quarter Hail Mary.
And the reason why I was thinking call a timeout, run the ball on your 4th down, kill more clock. For me, with the way the wind is and kicking it, I didn't think that taking a delay a game was even a question.
Well, the delay a game obviously gives Jordan Legg better angles to kick this one inside the 10. And he angles it over. That's a beautiful kick. Yep. And look at the special teams. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
to the 1 yard line.
Couldn't do it much better.
Hey, congratulations to Coach Stutz, the special teams. That is an absolute clinic.
Yes, so nice. Perfect. I mean, if you were going to teach high school teams on how to do that, okay, you take that film and show it to your players, because that was picture perfect.
Tyson Genatone got down there and turned around at the goal line. At Dickinson State now 99.5 yards away from tying this game with 28 seconds to go.
And you got a prevent defense. You got 3 DBs sitting 20 yards back. They want to play everything in front of them, in which they did just there.
Wicker with the catch out over the 20-yard line. And even if Wicker, so first down from the 26.
And Rocky's going to do the same thing that they did. They're going to have 3 defensive backs 20 yards back. You're going to put your linebackers 8 to 10 yards back. Keep everything in front of you.
And that is intercepted. And this game is over.
And it looked like the ball was tipped by a battling bear up in the air, being able to give the other defensive backs the ability to break on the ball. It was up in the air. We do tip drills all the time. Got underneath it before it hit the ball for the before it hit the ground for the interception.
Trey Smith able to come up with the interception, and that will seal the deal for Rocky, and they will get their second win in the Eastern Division and go to 2-0 with the victory today. So job one. All right, check the boxes. Now off to Havre to see if they can extend this current streak against MSU Northern. Novak takes the kneel down, and this is going to be a happy bunch of Battlin Bears as they knock off a very dangerous Dickinson State team. 28-21 is the final score. A well-played college football game. We saw a lot of fireworks on both sides of the football. Great special teams play, big plays made by both schools, but in the end, Rocky picks up the win. So 28-21 is our final. And we'll step aside. When we come back, we'll finish things up here from Herb Clint Field in Billings as the Bears get their second conference win of the season, 28-21 over the Blue Hawks. And welcome back to Herb Clint Field here in Billings. Rocky Mountain College, the home team, coming away with the 28-21 win over Dickinson State. More important, Tyson, the Bears go to 2-0 in the Eastern Division, and now they can look ahead to a game in Havre where on paper they're going to be heavily favored against MSU Northern. And so you start looking forward in the schedule now, and you see the road for Rocky if you can get the win in Havre, and then comes that what would essentially be a playoff game against Montana Tech when you would meet them for the second time, and that game will be here in Billings.
Yeah, you can see the clear path ahead of you, and like you said, on paper everything looks like you should be winning these games, but in the Frontier Conference there is no guarantee. And in the past, Havre has beaten Rocky when they shouldn't have, and now for Rocky, this is a good confidence builder, especially for their offense. And do not overlook teams coming up, no matter what their record is. Just like Dickinson, 2-4. But look, Dickinson pushed them all the way through this game. So don't look past anybody 1 week at a time, and prepare like you are in a playoff game next week.
You know, and when you look at Rocky, you've got this emerging quarterback in Trent Novak, and every game that he plays and gets under his belt, he just gets a little bit better. You've got explosive players like Darius Haskin at wide receiver, Eric Lira at wide receiver. Your running game is getting better. Your defense is bowing up a little better. So when you start putting all of that together, your special teams is tremendous. You have a good kicker in Austin Drake and a punter in Jordan Legg who leads the conference. All things considered, Rocky Mountain College is a team that's going to be tough. They're going to be a tough
contender.
They are.
They will be a contender.
I think they are now, and so we'll see what shakes out as the weeks move forward. It'll be interesting to sort all of this out. A big thanks to our SWX crew today for the job that they do, and our producer today was Dave Norman. Dave, appreciate you being in our ear, and Charlie Garrett, our executive producer. So for all the guys that are on our SWX crew from Billings, thanks so much for all the hard work.
Everyone.
And for Tyson Byers, I'm Chris Byers saying for now, so long from Billings.